Welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. I am Liverpool 12th Man, and today we'll be doing a festive show because we are League Cup champions. And today I also have with me Brian. Brian, how are you doing?
Do you want to answer that? I'm doing well. I hope everyone's well.
I know, getting the phone calls during the live
It was
feed. Sorry
great.
about that.
Great timing. It's really good timing.
Yeah, I know, right? Has been raining all morning, and now it's got to now all of a sudden they want to decide to call. um,
That's
yes,
Jorgen on the phone thanking you for the tactical insight.
yeah, exactly. Definitely so. I mean, he got a little shut eye on the plane, so you know how that goes. um, but doing well, doing well.
Yeah. Especially after yesterday, it cheered me up after an inconsistent week. It was great to
Yeah,
just relax and watch that yesterday. Finally beat them.
yeah.
Without having to go to penalties. I didn't want that again. I after about 100
I'm
minutes,
not.
I was like, here we go, penalties, lads. Just put your money on it.
Yeah,
Well, we came pretty
yeah,
close.
yeah. You know what's funny about the game is that I watched it over again. Obviously, I watched games over 2-3 times, and one, that's a long game to watch. Okay, 120 minutes is a long time, but even more so, like I remember my initial reaction to the game was my initial reaction to the game was, oh man, this is like was I said it was like I wouldn't have said boring, but it was like just nerve wracking and not the excitement that
Hello.
I really wanted.
Sorry.
But
Potato
mhm. But it was still an event or still enough of a game. In the end, I understood what it meant and what it took. For the game to be appreciated. The sheer fact of winning obviously makes it that much more appreciable. But I just meant like, yeah, I would have. Would you like, for instance, would you and the chat can say something about this as well? Big up to Steven, by the way, and hi Lord. Big up to you, brother. Appreciate you showing up and showing some love because I love High Lord's little statistics that he adds in here. But I was gonna say, would you have preferred a 4-0 win, or would you have preferred what we got, which was like a 1-0 last minute win? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry, I was just dealing with the world's stupidest delivery driver there.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Oh, yowzers. Do I look like I'm under 18? I mean, come on, guys. Um, yes, go up there now, Mrs. Doggy. Um, of course, I would have liked to see that 4-1, but I didn't see it in the in the tea leaves. That wasn't what I could see happening because they did it again at the start of the final. They read out, what we've been in 10, 8 went to extra time, or penalties, and then they were just listing off, and not just our games, they were listing off like all the cup final results: 1-1, 0, 1-1, 1-0, 0-0. After 90, they're always just that kind of horrible game, and yeah, I couldn't see one of those coming. Like, there's nothing better than that. Because you know how bad it feels when there's 1 minute left and you've been fighting all game, and then all of a sudden the opposition just go up and get one, and it's done. And you've been there's nothing better than that feeling as well, like that last minute winner. You
Right.
know,
Yes, I understand.
you know,
Yeah,
it's because you know how hard it hits you when you're on the other end of it. You think, right, we've gone 120
absolutely,
minutes. Oh, yeah. So to get that as a winner
absolutely.
as well, and to do it to them, I'd almost prefer that kind of knife to the heart victory over a team like Chelsea.
Oh, okay. That's basically what it comes down to. It's like I I just asked. I just saw Redbird gave us an answer, and he says he prefers this. He says I prefer this. It made it more special. And I asked him in return, I'm like, but how's your nerves after like that? You know, when you're on like when like you have like no nails left, you know, from biting them. You know, like your heart rate is going like, you know, oh man, we're gonna go to penalties, because penalties is just like, you know, it's just almost a completely different game. You know, it's almost as if like, okay, start from zero and go
There
again.
would have been a lot of pressure on a couple of very young kids if it had gone to penalties. Because
Absolutely.
if Chelsea scored their first two, you know, if it went to a kind of at least a 4 penalty, 5 penalty shootout, which more than likely,
Yeah.
we would have been running out of senior options pretty quickly. It would have been someone like a Clark or a McConnell probably taking one of the latter ones. So before,
Yeah.
with the other penalty shootouts, I think we were a much finer fettle, as it were. We had much stronger team on the pitch. So I wouldn't have been quite as, like, I was bigging up Kelleher for you. You know, I was like, look at the way he's playing. He's building up for another masterclass in the penalty shootout. But
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I also had in the back of my mind that their guy is good on pens as well, and we don't
Yeah.
have Jota. You know, McAllister was off the pitch. We didn't have him. You know, we were shedding penalty takers and bringing on Kwanzaa and stuff. So I was thinking, well, Kwanzaa must have a good penalty on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't get that far.
You know what's funny too about that, Brian, is that when I see, I'm gonna make sure I get the exact timing, because I think it was so it was the 87th minute. So we're not even in extra time just yet, but like in the 87th minute we subbed off Cody Hackbo, we subbed off Alexi McAllister, and we subbed off Andy Robertson. So we set up Robbo, Macca, and Agent Cody, and brought in Jaden, James, and Simicast. And I was
Pretty
like,
crazy, really.
okay, we just subbed off like three of our best penalty kick takers on the pitch. We don't have that many that are like known, that have been in that place in that time to take those kind of kicks. And I'm just like, okay.
It
We gotta get.
definitely was a strategy. It definitely was a strategy. All right, it was brave. It was bold. Was it foolish? If it backfires, it's going to be, you know, like the other thing I'm most sort of appreciative about is that we're not having to lose our minds about that disallowed goal, because as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, that we won the game. It was talked to death yesterday, and at least we don't need to. Well, at least we're not sitting here looking at that going, that's cost us.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and it was great that Van Dijk was the one to do it as well. Kind of unique.
Oh, so it was so special to see him get like redemption.
Great.
Well,
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about his taken away goal, but yeah, that was such good redemption.
Hopefully not for too long. We'll focus on the positives tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Big up the vase of flowers in the house. He says, Brian and I were both on with vase of flowers on Frank Carlisle's show. You know, it was more so, I think you were just, you know, enjoying the libations, as they say, you know, of our spoils, of our victory. It's okay, brother. I have no animosity against you at all. I thought it was actually pretty enjoyable and understandable, considering, you know, hey, we just won a cup, so it's quite all right. Hylor says, as Klopp said in the interview after the match, this is a credit to the academy, but I, for one, want to make a special mention to Alex Inglethorpe, the academy director. Yes, who I'm so I'm sure is very proud. Yes, you have to give a shout out. That's the goalkeeper coach. Or I thought that was a goalkeeper coach as the academy director. Excuse me.
You've got
meaning like
Taffarel there, and the other guy on keeper. Oh, I can't remember his name. Inglethorpe's been around a long time.
We have a Brazilian coach, and we have a coach that came over with Jurgen too.
Yeah, Claudio Taffarel is the Brazilian guy. He used to play in goal for Brazil. up into the 90s. So,
Yep, and we brought him over when we got our young Brazilian youngster as well. I remember that. Repper answered this question I asked earlier. He says, "I'm still buzzing, but my nerves were shaking for sure." Yeah, man. Let's be honest. Like, as in, I have this quote. Excuse me. In the corner here, and basically the quote is just saying. But it's George Bernard Shaw says, "There's always danger for those who are afraid." I'm not saying that we had fear. I'm definitely saying that that it was a tense moment, to say the least. I would say it's a tense moment, to say the least. But it is what it is. Oh, nice. We have our third participant. We're trying to get a quad today. I'm going for the quad on the panel, but hopefully we'll see if the fourth participant shows up. But all the same, Nalante is in the house. Big up, Nalante. How are you doing, brother?
Well, how are you, man? How's everyone else there? That's the thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? We don't do things easy, innit? I mean, it's quad settings right now, 12.
Yeah,
and
right.
Like I said, 12, yeah. Big up, Brian. Brian, big yourself up.
Man,
big yourself, bro. Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right, man.
You grace us with your presence. You grace us with your presence.
Oh, indeed, Brian. I'm always here to grace, but when I can, I'll jump on and we can have a good conversations. Me, you, JK, and whoever else, as always. You know what? The funny thing is, like I said, I actually messaged 12 privately. I said, you know what, 12, and I've done a Copish video, which you need to watch, 12, because I have to big you up, because you know what, 12. Again, I don't know anyone else. Again, so apologies, but you at the start when we bought Endo, 12, was being his drum. You kept on consistently told us about Endo, about his qualities and what he'll bring to the team. And I was like, you know what? Stuttgart, German league, you won't hack it. There's better DMs. And boy, yesterday, what I saw, that was a masterclass.
Yeah.
That was a masterclass in midfield from Endo. Yeah. The way he was controlling and dictating the play and moving the ball, honestly, like I said, anything about Endo? Nah, man. Nah. I'll take it back, man. I mean, Kenichiwa, Shanara, whatever, man. He needs to get some unit down his system. That man, honestly, bright. Yesterday.
That's right.
Yeah, he was quality. That was something if Fabinho was having that kind of a game, we'd be raving about it. But he was, I mean, we could get to the rest of the players. Yes, yes. But yeah.
Yeah, man, that's big up. I appreciate the praise of like the acknowledgement that we've been saying before about like there are those out there. Big shout out to KJ as well. KJ was someone else. I remember the day I came on Copish and I was talking about him. He was someone in the chat that was like that had my back against a lot of the wolves in the pack, that were calling me delusional for bigging up this unknown Japanese captain, that was going to be gracing our pitch and showing the true grace and honor. Also, big up Dakota B, the first lady of the Beijing Reds TV channel. Big up Dakota B, and big up the Team Capri Suns for sure. So I asked Brian this question, Nilante, and I'll ask you the same question. One, or at least two questions, at least. One, would you have preferred a 4-0, an easy win, or did you enjoy this route to a win more? And what were your basic ideas of the game in general?
You know what? Because I know how Chelsea is, and for some reason we always draw against them. It's always tricky. So all my head I was thinking, you know what? I don't want pens. I do not want pens. I don't want another extra time. I'll just feel it's weird, man. If we would have won on penalties, but I just take the trend. I just want a clear, definitive win. We've already had that, and we had a better team out there, which was this. You celebrated, but I was just disappointed, man. I didn't want pens. So, and regardless, I'm not too fussed as long as you got the win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all that matters, really, right? With the team we had and the injuries. For me, it was just about getting the win. And we had to roll just a little bit of luck. I wouldn't say too much because we had our chances as well. So, but
Right.
as both you and Brian can to testify as watching the game, as Mr. Neville so eloquently put it, the bottle job club, blue bottle jobs. Oh well, billion bottle jobs. What a sight to behold.
Yes. We're going to get into that too. We're going to
Yes.
definitely get into that too. There's a lot to take from this game. There's a extremely lot taken from this game. It was a lot. It was, I was definitely a little bit, I wouldn't say nervous, but there's a lot of like, because it's just one of those things where I see these young men now out there, the youth academy players giving their all, doing their best to just, contribute, fit in. I see these, senior players on the pitch, holding it down, making the most, taking like these steps to be that guy on the pitch that at least leads the way for a lot of these players to follow them to glory. And I'm sitting there going like, oh man, there's just that chance of us getting like, the fluke goal or deflected goal or whatever. Some of the, like a goal we've seen the last 2 weeks actually, or the last 2 games actually. That deflection goes in off of a dumb, like, not even mistake type situation. But oh man, it was great to see. I mean, I've got some here's some interesting stats. In 34 games in all competitions under Poch so far, Chelsea have won 17 times, drew 6, and have lost 11. Well, we're going to make that 12. So that's pretty good. But I would say Sunday's final saw our Mighty Red secure our first Infinity Stone of the Quad Gauntlet. I know some people aren't really about going for that quad. They're more concerned about, one competition over the other. Or but all the same, hey, you know what? It's one competition at a time, and all it means is just take the opportunities when you have them. I really want to hear your opinions actually, real quick. Are you under the mindset of like, do we take this and say, okay, cool, let's just now focus on the league and that's it? Or are you still under the mindset of all the belts? Brian, that question is to you, and then I'll go on to Nilante.
Oh yeah, well, football really, football will give you a new problem every single day. Mm-hmm. So Jurgen Klopp will always say, we're in the trophies we're in, but you're going to plan, but you're planning 2-3 games maybe, because with injuries and all the rest of it, you can't really be thinking we'll play this then, and then this then, and this then, this then. And then that's when you have a full squad and nobody's, not a full squad, but the usual kind of light injury, let's say 2 or 3 boys that are out, and you have nearly a full squad. Then you can pick 2 or 3 games ahead. But with a squad like ours, the way it is at the moment, it's pretty much just getting to the next destination, making sure you have an 11 that you can put out against Forest is the next game, right? That you're happy with, that you're comfortable with, that you aren't overstretching. And that's really, with the way we are at the moment with injuries, that's about as far as I'd be pushing it.
Southampton's our next game, actually. Southampton's our next game, but Forest is our next league game. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You can't really be pushing it out there thinking, oh yeah, we're not going to win this trophy. We are going to win that trophy. We're not going to go for this trophy. We are going to go for that trophy. I don't think Klopp's mind works like that anyway. It'll just be, we're in until we get knocked out, and when we get knocked out, we're out. There won't really overcomplicate it any more than that, especially just with the numbers we have at the moment. Planning is almost futile. It's just, let's wait and see who's fit on when is the next game. When are we playing again? Is it Wednesday night or Saturday or what?
Wednesday
night.
Yeah, yeah, that's like the day after tomorrow. So, I mean, we just played a cup final. So Christ, it's all the knocks and bruises. Endo, I know, is only protective, but all the little knocks and the cramp that's going to come up after that. We're going to have 3 or 4 players now. We've got to get an 11 out for Southampton. I know everyone will say we don't pick and choose your cups, but if I was playing Football Manager and I had a game at the weekend against Forest and I had this injury list and I had a game against Southampton, I'd say I'm binning this. Now, that's not what I'm saying as we do as a club, but that's the one where basically anyone that needs a rest doesn't play against Southampton. Anyone that has a tiny injury doesn't play against Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that team against Southampton going to look like? Pretty funny, I reckon. I reckon that team against Southampton could look pretty funny because, the energy expended yesterday, all the little kicks and all that, to do it again on Wednesday, to then go to Forest, which is going to be a really physical game, by the way. Forest, they're going. Mm-hmm. That's a strong.
That's going to be a tough. That's a potential roadblock, or bump in the road, however you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, you want everyone fit and ready for that. So I think it's not about having the arrogance to say we're not going to win this. We are going. I mean, it's just literally you've got to pick your poison sometimes. And if you said to me, you can take a chance on a guy for midweek, it might not be good for the weekend, or you can just give him the week off and play him at the weekend. Like, it's basically, if it's kind of like a genie in the lamp, right? We've got one already, right? But if the genie comes out of the lamp to me and says, you can have one of three. It's not a 3 wishes thing, it's a 1 wish, but there's 3 options. The FA Cup, Europa League, or the league. It's always the league. At the start of the season, if it's 4 wishes, it's always the league. That's all I care about. That's all. That's always the number one target. So, unfortunately, if we do have to, I think to prioritize the league match, and who knows, we put out a bunch of kids and they go and tear up Southampton.
Yeah. How about we lost Nolante actually, but I'm sure he'll be back. He's gonna work out something with his feed. That's I get exactly what you're saying, especially considering that we have Southampton next, then we have Forest, or no, we have Southampton next, then we have Forest away, and then we have our UEFA matchup against Sparta Praha in Prague.
Forest better be Sunday. Forest better be a Sunday.
Forest is Saturday.
Oh, that's well. So we play a cup final on a Sunday. We play a cup match on a Wednesday, and then we play a Premier League game on a Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, brilliant! Thanks very much, lads.
Yep.
Yeah. Cheers for that.
Yep.
Player welfare and all that. You know what I mean?
We do have a pretty lengthy layover from that, and after the game on, let me double check. Yeah. So after the Forest game on Saturday, our next game is Thursday. So.
Wow, nearly a whole week off.
Yeah, that'll be different. Yeah.
It's an absolute.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a break in between the league game and the UEFA or Europa game. So, but it should be. Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding. Especially, I know there's concerns. I know I'm just gonna do some of the updates on the injuries at the end. But yeah, considering that there were reports about Endo leaving in a boot, or on crutches at least, and obviously the injury to Ryan G, which is painful enough. But yeah, we said we're going to keep it positive, so we're going to keep it positive for right now. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about the fact that it's the 7th major honor for Jurgen Klopp. And so far this time, by lifting this title, he's the only there's only been 2 other coaches that have lifted it more than once, like as in lifted the League Cup more than once. Okay. I'll give you guys, you guys want to take guesses on them, or you want to take a guess on who those 2 coaches are? Nolante, you want to take a guess? You can guys in the chat can take a guess. We've been throwing a little more trivia into it to kind of get us to kind of make it a fun way to learn our history a little bit, for those that need it and those that just want to relive it. There's 2 coaches. Do you, by chance, you know who the 2 coaches are? Either one of you?
Yeah, Pep Guardiola and Mourinho.
Oh no, for us. No, for us.
Sorry.
Uh,
Oh, for us.
all right, Realism Jared beat the panel to it. But yes, that is correct.
I missed the
Only,
question. I think Nalante's in a tumble dryer or something.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just having a bit of a walk. Sorry.
No worries. I'm sure maybe are you taking the little one out for a walk or something? Get him some air.
Oh no, I've got to do some cooking later on tonight, so I'm just getting 1 or 2 picks, you know.
Got you. But yes, it was Gerard Houllier and Bob Paisley.
What was the question?
The question was who's lifted. There's by Klopp winning this twice. By Klopp winning the League Cup twice, he joins 2 other Liverpool coaches as the only 2 coaches to lift the trophy. And Stephen, I know everyone's backing me up on the answer, but there's only 2 other Liverpool coaches that have done it more than once. That have won the League Cup more than once.
Oh, done it more than once. Oh, okay, right, yeah, right, right.
Yeah. Let's
Paisley
see.
was a trophy machine. Paisley was an absolute. Paisley was a trophy machine. Everyone remembers Shankly, and remembers Dalglish, and then probably, like I'd say, like name the 3 most famous Liverpool managers. I think.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, there was an era though for us that really cemented.
Yeah, Paisley.
There's an era that really cemented our drive with this League Cup, and that was definitely the 80s. The 80s were a magnificent era for this club. You know, I wasn't following or watching the club at that time. I started joining the club once in the 90s, but I mean, you know, there was definitely, I got to see him at least lift the cup in 1995 during the 90s, but still during the 80s it was 81, 82, 83, 84. We won it 4 times in a row, so that was pretty momentous. And then obviously we won 2001, 2003, 2022, and then we won it once in the 2010s. 2012 or 2011?
12, yeah.
So it was definitely pretty incredible run though during the 80s. I mean, for other things too during the 80s as well. You know, this team was definitely on something. But you know what else it does, and this is something I want to start getting sound clips involved in it because I would, if everyone's ever watched the Ferris Bueller movie, there's that part when he's like Bueller, you know, when he's in the classroom, because this is what I definitely would be saying: Manchester United, because it now makes our major honors go to 51. We now have more major honors than Manchester United. We had, I think we were tied at one point because when they won the cup, I think it tied us, right? Is that correct or no? I know we were ahead of them before, and then last year we didn't get any silverware. So, and they won the League Cup. So that I think that either tied us, or I think that tied us. They didn't make them go ahead of us, but by getting this title, we now have the most titles in England, which is a great thing. I wanted to go over. That's how it should be. Absolutely.
Appreciate.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the man says, we're there to win trophies. That's what we're there for. Like, Toys R Us exists to sell toys. We exist to win trophies. It's not that difficult. It's anything else is always going to be not arrogance, but we're the kind of club that's supposed to do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to have managers, supposed to have players like that. So that's why the drop-offs, even at our worst, which is what United can't do, all through those barren periods, we were doing things like that, picking up trebles, you know, the Mickey Mouse treble, as they call it, winning the Champions League in 2005. You know, that was when we were finishing 4th, 6th, this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
we've even
Yeah.
when that's our lineage. Is even when we're down at our lowest step, we always just tack on trophies. United haven't been able to do that since they
Yeah.
dropped off. They've got like one thing, I think, maybe
Yeah.
two since Ferguson left.
Yeah.
We just kept we always kept winning low key, like adding pots, adding to the number.
They won something.
But
I think they won something from Marino. I think
Yeah,
Marino
no,
once.
Ten Hag
yeah, they
won him a
won three
cup.
trophies.
Ten Hag won a cup.
Yeah, and then that's the League Cup I was referencing earlier. Yeah. Yeah. He won the League Cup. And that was the year that
The
was
League Cup
the
doesn't matter. The League Cup doesn't matter. League Cup is irrelevant. League Cup's irrelevant. League Cups, don't worry about it. Don't celebrate the League Cup. It's irrelevant.
That's what we're told. Yeah. That's what we're told.
Yeah.
But it's obvious. The only reason why that's the case is because we're now losing. We don't have any more fingers to hold up on, for the next one. We have to start using toes and stuff to kind of like count the cups that we have. So that's what's up. I wanted to go over some key points in the game yesterday, and there are some key points in the game that kind of like stuck out. And I had on here a lot of what Ryan. Let's get into it. Ryan G's injury, just another gut punch. This team had to suffer, somewhat, considering that, it is what it is with injuries this year. We're all like battling through them and holding whatever we can. But I thought that Chelsea yesterday looked like a team that that despite the fact that them having all the higher priced talent on the pitch, they went on there as if they were the underdog. And that's a particularly interesting case for a team that has all the levels of the high price. I mean, possibly between two, if not three players on the pitch at one time. It could have been all of our transfers combined practically for what we were representing on the pitch as well, comparatively at least. And I thought that they were a little bit rash. I thought they were definitely a little bit reckless. They were definitely going to make it a physical approach towards the game against us, which was like a little bit frustrating considering that the referee wasn't necessarily calling it the way it should have been called, in my personal opinion. I think that referees are really not doing their the English referees it is what it is. We all know how our feelings on the English referees and the state that the PGMOL, or just not the PGMOL is, but just the state of referee in England in general is at. But I just wanted to say that it was very interesting that that call, and this is the only part we're going to spend a little small segment on this, as Brian suggested earlier. We're just going to get the frustration out so we can just move on to bigger and better things. And that was the sheer fact that I saw Curtis Jones' tackle in the Spurs match that got him a yellow, that was then reviewed by VAR and then elevated to a red. And I was told intention doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your intention is. It's a foul's a foul, right? But yet yesterday,
Intent does matter.
Well, I was told that it doesn't.
No, it can be upgraded. There's something's in. Yeah, no, literally, if something is intentional while in play, that's a hard. Yeah, no, it literally does. Whoever said that is talking shit.
Well, right. Well, that was the whole point of what I was trying to get across is that, Curtis Jones didn't intentionally, go into that tackle, maliciously. He didn't intentionally try to injure the Spurs player or something like that with this thing. It's more so it's the ball slipped over. He slipped over the ball. He made contact with the ball, but he ended up slipping out the ball and then making contact. But yet they were saying
one of them. Sorry, when that one happened, I said that happened to Gerrard, identical one, maybe about later on in his career, exactly the same thing. Put his foot on the ball, and as soon as he put his foot on the ball, it bounced up, and it just did your man right in the shin. It just absolutely crippled him back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was literally he put his foot on the ball. If his foot had been like an inch lower, it would have gone under the ball. But because he just went a bit too high when he landed on the ball, it just bounced straight up and just absolutely just ruined this guy. and even Gerrard was going, I came up off the ball, but the ref was going, yeah, but look at your man on the ground, he's broken. You gotta go.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, holy hell, like. But you, as soon as you saw it in slow motion, it was like, yeah, put his foot on the ball, bounced up, hit him in the shin. No intent whatsoever. But yeah, the ref's going, yeah, intent does. In that one, he's saying, yeah, it doesn't matter if you intended to or not, which is nonsense. Like, it was just.
That's why I'm bringing that up. Yeah, that's exactly why I was bringing that up. Big up to Quasi Bold. Quasi Bold's joining us now. We have the quad going on right now. So big up to Quasi Bold.
Big up, guys. Big up. I have to be off camera today, so I apologize.
No
I'm
worries.
definitely I'm definitely the Premier League title in this squad. So,
oh, okay. Big up. Oh man.
Call it. Pick from the rest of the Detroiters yourself. You pick whatever you want. Call it.
Yeah, there you go. And it's all good. I'll be the League Cup then. Since no one wants to call that, probably no one wants to claim that. But hey, it's the one title we have, the one that we're the.
Well, you're in the bag though. Yeah.
And it's the one you have to get if you ever want to have a quad. So how about that? You got to start off somewhere. But yeah, Quasi, what are your feelings about that? About what I just said about the refs, because I heard a lot of the defense for that foul that wasn't even called a foul. That was the initial part about it. It wasn't even called a foul. Okay,
and they claim that they watch it,
and that it wasn't a yellow. Obviously, it wasn't. It didn't even go. It wasn't reviewed to be a red. None of that ever went through. What were your feelings about that, real quick? Because we got to touch on it.
It's disgraceful. It is disgraceful. The thing is, you can't measure intent. You can only go with what happened, right? Now, if let's say somebody pushed Caicedo and Caicedo end up stepping on him, then you say, okay, that's accidental because he got pushed from the back. But if whether he's paying attention or he's being clumsy, that's on him. The thing is, you didn't step on his foot. You step on a higher ankle, which is a breaking leg possibility. So they're disgraceful. The fact that VAR looked at it as, oh, there's nothing in it, no yellow card or ref, go look at it or anything, tells you where we are. And I'm so glad Klopp did not shake that referee's hand.
Yeah.
Like that could be Ryan for the season,
Yeah, it could be. I mean, like
I think in fairness, he did give it as a foul.
The one positive.
No, but he did give it as a foul. The ref, he said it was a foul, but he played advantage. So he said, it was a foul, but he played advantage. And then it went to Gakpo. Gakpo got tackled. So
he got fouled, yeah.
And then he got
fouled.
Yeah.
Well, no, that wasn't good.
Right. I thought he was fouling. I thought he was calling the advantage on that. But I remember you did comment during the game. I saw your text to me. You're like,
no, he played advantage on that, but he didn't. The thing, he didn't go back. Like you can go back even if it's 2 minutes later and book a guy. But he played advantage. Exactly. He knew that was a foul. It's just how you can know that was a foul and not like I would say it's the most obvious yellow card you're ever going to see in your life. I mean, it's for them. So how he doesn't bring it back, I just don't understand. Like play advantage, great, but that's the bit I don't get at all. No, no review, nothing. I don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. Does that put him out of the game? Like he's literally like 2 minutes later, he's going off on a stretcher. Like what more does he need to see?
Yeah, I know. But apparently, I mean, Lelante, what's your view on it?
I mean, Caicedo just does what he does, man. He got bullied and he was like a hellish chicken. He wasn't thinking. And yeah, man, it is what it is, man. It's just a number of, the guy says, there's a number of long decisions against us. So, it's annoying, man, because Ryan and that's a nobody out. And again, we have to, just cut to the bone. So, but I mean, it's typical, isn't it? Like you said, Prof, man, started from the Tottenham game and then certain decisions have gone against us. And one thing I just want to reiterate, I know I'm deviating from the foul,
Right.
It's the fact that I've seen a lot of these online. I don't know if it's just Chelsea fans or just people, rival fans, hating us, saying about, the Sterling one, which was he was just offside and he scored.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of them have been, a lot of I've seen on the net about, he was onside, from another angle, Chelsea got robbed. I'm just thinking, what kind of crap is this? Anything to put down our victory, but and look, to be fair, when you see it from one angle, he does look offside, but at the end of the day, he's offside. But I tell to the other rivals to rebuttal that. All right, let's just say that's a goal. Then Van Dijk goal header, so it's 2-1. So whatever way you look at it, you lost.
Yeah, no, you know what? Since we're talking about these calls, let's just get that all out of the way. Then, I also didn't think that the initial first goal that was marked off for Endo. Albeit I understand it is in the letter of the law that is an offsides. If he impacted the play or something along those lines, yada yada yada. But all the same, that play is seen every week. Almost every week we see someone do what we saw Endo do, and I don't think I've seen it called once. I don't think I've seen it called once this entire year for that, at least, or for what we saw Endo end up doing. And on top of that, what's really very interesting about it to me was the sheer fact that, okay, let's just hypothetically say that Endo is offsides and we can see that he's offsides. Okay. And when he comes back, he's not making, he's just standing there. So therefore he's not trying to, he's just, not being a part of the play. He's not trying to go for the header. He's not doing any of those things, but he is standing in the way. I understand that. When you see Caldwell and you see Chilwell, they're marking a man. And what it was is Caldwell didn't have any concerns about trying, it's his responsibility to see Endo. His responsibility to know he's got to get around him and everything else. Okay. And I get it. We can get back to the letter of law. We can all say that and everything else. But all the same, it's his part and point to say he's got to figure out who he's going to mark. Is it Endo or is it, because he doesn't necessarily know if he's even offside or not, but it's like, is it Endo he's going to mark or is it Van Dijk he's going to mark? Right. He ends up going with Endo and Chilwell ends up going with VVD. Now, what was very interesting to me again is that VAR then took it upon themselves to determine what was in the minds of Caldwell and Chilwell, as if they're playing, whether they're playing man marking, whether they're doing zonal marking, who's in zonal marking, who's in man marking. They're going into the minds of what the players are doing and saying who's marking who would have been involved in the play, what was going on in the play. That's what VAR is doing. And I think it's very disingenuous to say that they know. So even though what's that?
No, it's me. Let that be a lesson to everyone in all walks of life. Never try and think that you know what's going on in someone's mind, because you're just gonna. Yeah, it's just what are they even thinking? What are they even doing going down those kind of roads? He was probably thinking this. He was probably like these guys have drunk. They're gotten drunk on power. I think they're drunk on power.
They have, and that was the part and point. Like, it'd be one thing if we saw this call consistently throughout the year. We haven't. So therefore, you'd have just all of a sudden throw this in our faces at the opportunity to take away an absolutely tremendous goal. That goal was so well taken, so well done by Virgil. But again, it goes to say, okay, now if that's the case, and you're going to make this call, then going forward, we're going to see this call throughout the entire year. We won't. We simply won't. But that was an issue to me. I'm just like, it's not the fact. And I remember because I saw the two Robbie show, and Robbie Musta was talking about it. He was like, oh, he's getting a lot of different types of comments back at him, and he was like, oh, well, you just got to go to the laws of the rule. The FIFA laws. It's simple. Just Google it. And I was saying, I think where Robbie was missing the point is, it's not the point that it's a law. It's more so it's a law that is they pick and choose when they want to apply the law. That's when I have a problem with it. If you're going to apply the law, I can say yes. All right, I understand. That was done to us last weekend, or I saw that be called in 2 games ago against so and so. That's not the case. That's not the case, and that's why I'm not a conspiracy guy per se, but it does really, really start to lean towards something is up with this crap, man. There's nothing I can say more. Quasi, you want to comment?
I think that there was a glitch in the matrix or a glitch in the script. Somebody did not follow the script, because on my side, the commentator said, how did Virgil Chilwell end up with Virgil? It does not make sense. How did Virgil? I'm like, wait a minute. How do you guys know their gameplay?
Mm-hmm.
So when the ball guy called back, they were like, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. It was Endo. He was doing. I saw the same goal against Arsenal. Arsenal scored the same goal. Gabriel. I know because I got points because Gabriel was on my fantasy league.
Mm-hmm.
He ran to the back. I think it was Odegaard or somebody who blocked the defender who was coming towards Gabriel, and he headed the ball and scored. So the game changes. Thing depends on who is playing. You know, Clyburn, Clyburn is not a big fan of Liverpool, but he said he made a comment. I forgot the term he used. Right? He's like, this is a flimsy way to not call a goal. So I'm baffled with that. They need to explain. I think they're gonna hide behind the fact that Liverpool won, so they're not gonna make a big deal out of it. Let's keep on moving. They were looking for a story. And then what's the name? Chelsea fans crying. I saw it was offside. And it's funny how they were using a different camera angle to show us that it is so close. The commentator told us the ref said it's going to take a while because we have to draw the line. And you can see they were trying to cheat and it didn't work. So this whole thing, there's something going on in the referees that I don't know why. Was it because Pochettino said, oh, well, because Klopp is leaving, so we can't be too, that kind of word how he said, which I think it affected the referees. They were trying to say, okay, we're not going to fall into that love story of Klopp's final season. And he's a big coach. He's a big manager in the league. So he's leaving is a Kobe-esque final goodbye to everywhere he's going, right? Nobody's going to throw him a parade, but he might never show up to Wembley again. I know he will, but I'm saying he might never.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he has another plane trip for
exactly. So Pochettino coming up with that comment was weird in the first place.
No, it was. I think it was definitely
gameplay.
Yeah, it's strategy.
Mind games.
Yeah,
fine.
Absolutely.
However, why are you saying this before a game, knowing that you're trying to tell the refs don't be biased because Klopp is leaving, so don't be easy on Liverpool?
He's doing it for the standard mind games, pre-final mind games. Kenny Dalglish has done it.
That's
Ferguson's done it. Mourinho's done it. So
now people like me who are conspiracy theorists say, okay, then we score a goal, you call it back because something that everybody does every single weekend.
Why does Poch have that power? Why does Pochettino have the power to influence?
You don't need to have a Pochettino have to have power. Saying it is already power. Because what you're doing is you're putting doubt on everybody's mind. So in the case where there's a 50-50 call and he's on Liverpool's side, guess what he's going to say? See, this is what I was talking about. That's what Poch was doing. That mind game you guys talking about, that's exactly what he's doing. So if referees, and like Klopp said, this guy was not up to the levels of the game. I'm sorry, the referee was in shambles. And then the PGMLO or whoever, Howard Webb, is a useless tool. Why do you bring the same referee that cost us a game against Spurs?
No, we get that. I mean, look, Realism Jarrett said it very, very pointedly too. I know that we all think that, or at least now, a lot more of us think that Endo is pretty magical. But I mean, like, what's Endo gonna do? Just disappear? Like do a magic trick and disappear or something and get out of his way? Like he's standing there outside. I get that, but I mean, realistically, if if someone wanted to, then if I'm going to utilize that, then I would then target whoever is offside, and I see that person offside, I'm running into them immediately. Because then I could just say, oh well, I was interfered.
Usually, doesn't the
even if the player's trying to get out of my way or standing there, I'm just running into him. Why not?
Sometimes doesn't players purposely push other players to be offside?
Did you not even see Nolante? This is I'll allow for you to answer too, because I know you want to get probably your say and your 2 cents in. Did you see that on that play, Chilwell was basically hog tying him, had his kit like this, like was holding onto his kit and pulling him down, trying to pull him down to the ground, and didn't release his kit the entire time. But yet that wasn't called. Isn't that in the bylaws as well? Are you allowed to hold that blatantly? Is that a part of the game now? Is that you can just blatantly it's one thing it's like in the NFL, they say you can call a penalty on every play practically. It's holding on almost every play. But there's only so much that you can do before it's just like, okay, you're having a laugh, as in you're really trying to go over the line. But Nolante, I'll allow for you to say your say on the piece. And then we're going to move on, because I know that we don't want to dwell too much on it because it ends up being, water on the bridge. But Nolante, you there?
Yeah, sorry, Toph. In regards to the whole holding shirt business, let's be honest, Chelsea were at it from day .1. Seeing as they kicked off Enzo, Concedo, that was the £220 million worth of waste in that midfield. They were at it from the back to the front, every little thing complaining, and Jackson was getting put in the pocket by Ibu and VVD. They were just at it. I was a bit surprised. They can be rough, but I think there's fair play and there's rough tackling. Chidwell doing these mind games with Bradley, trying to ruffle some of the youngsters, but they weren't having it, man. We're too cool. We're too cool for that. You know what I mean? So, it's just again politics. As I can't really say much what Kwasi has said, Brian has said. It's just politics, really, man. It's them seeing fit how they want to call it, man. It's just coincidental. It never happens, but it happens to us. So it's fine anyway. He who laughs last will laugh louder. And look who laughs. Look who's laughing at the end of the game. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I say, it is what it is, because obviously we ended up still doing our thing and moving on.
No, I would say it is though.
Yeah,
they have given us more content for the documentary.
yeah, definitely. I would definitely agree with that. There was one other point that I wanted to get into before we get into ratings, because we'll get into ratings, and then we can touch on some other things as well that I have on my list here. But I wanted to say, I think I want to give honorary mention to Lucho, primarily because I think that for myself, we've discussed this on other pods, and I've definitely discussed this at probably nauseam for Brian, so hopefully he doesn't get angry if I bring this up again. But what I really want to say about Lucho is, if I'm going to give the praise and the proper love towards Nunez for his work rate and his commitment and his all the things, all the nuances of his game, I have to give it to Lucho, because I believe that Lucho really put in a shift yesterday. I really, really enjoyed the fact that he wasn't getting the results that we want to see, in the sense of goals and and the likes, but he had the most shots, he had the most touches in the box. He created that great opportunity actually for Harvey, who albeit I would have liked to seen Harvey do more with that attempt that he had on goal, that he went near side of the goalkeeper and ended up missing the goal. But I just wanted to say that I have to give credit to Lucho. So big up to Colombia. Apparently I'm going to be taken there by Chris and possibly Dakota, to take away to drop off my positivity. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Lucho for that. I think that, he's pretty hard done by the fact that he doesn't get the same love or appreciation that Nunez is slowly but surely getting as well. And well, let me say this too real quick. Nunez, if you're listening, and I know you are, because I know, Redbirds in the chat, got Marion in the chat, possibly, you got some real supporters out there that support you from day one. Please do not run down the steps. He nearly pushed Cujo out of the way, jumping over the guardrail, jumping over the freaking the signpost. I was like, please, man, you're already hurt, or you're hopefully about ready to come back from injury. Do not injure yourself in the celebration, please. but yes, Nalante, you want to take this one? You want to? Do you have anything to say about Lucho, or even his celebration, even Darwin's celebration?
Yeah, if you could let the guys answer first. I'll answer
no
last.
problem.
Okay.
Kwazi, you want to take this one, and then we'll go to Brian?
Yeah, with Lucho, okay. This is the part where if I hear anybody criticize him, I would say you don't know ball. I don't care if you are my friend or not. And if you ask me why, I would say go listen to Klopp's final post-match interview. And that tells me like anything that the man was doing was instruction from the manager. He did say towards the end, they told him, don't run back anymore. Just stay up top. He was cool. Why would they ask him to stay up top? 12 man, if you remember yesterday on Crazy Bowl TV, shameless plug, I said Lucho aesthetically, he wasn't pleasing, but the work rate and what he did kept Chelsea defense very honest. There's a reason why they could not push up. And you'd be like, no, they did. I was like, well, then why will Klopp say stay up top? Because they know he is dangerous. They know he's a maverick. He can make things happen. We've seen it, right? The Chelsea right side was not efficient yesterday. I mean, what did Palmer did? How many overlap did they have? That should tell you the work that the left side was doing. Robo was very efficient. But Lucho, I was so impressed. I wish he had scored. I wish he had given an assist so that people would get off his back. But I like the work rate. He sacrificed himself. I mean, if you're gonna praise Elliott, then you should do the same thing for Lucho. But what's the name? Nunez is faking it. He and Salah are faking it, because today I just saw a video of Salah running with a whole bunch of Egyptians behind him shooting a Pepsi commercial. They were all faking it. They were pushing each other down the stairs. Even Klopp, he has questions. They were all faking it. They were scared. They were scared to face Chelsea. Let's be real. That's what
I don't know if you ever seen Seinfeld, or if you watch, if those people out there to watch Seinfeld, but there's one where George is at a birthday party and there's a fire. And like he was like, and George like wigged out. And he's like, "Oh, there's a fire!" And he like pushed the old lady out of the way, and he like pushed the clown out of the way. He was just running to the door. He's like, "That's what Nunez looked like." And then he was like, "I'm getting to the pitch first." It was so hilarious. Brian, go ahead. I saw your sharpest tool in the box comment. So let's hear what you have to say as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Diaz stuff, right? I think some people just do that because they know it gets a response. Right. I don't think, I've never met anybody really because I can still separate YouTube and real life. And I've never spoken to anyone that supports Liverpool that I know that's ever really slagged them off. I think a lot of it is kind of just done for effect. It's just like they all know really just that he's a rock solid player, and on his day he can score goals. They know there's nothing to really criticize, but it does get a good reaction. And they've moved on maybe a little bit from Nunez, but that's just sharks in the water, There's always got to be someone. Like I even heard it today. I knew it wouldn't take long because this is the new thing that we've been talking about that this season it seems to have just become a thing where we can't criticize or we can't praise one of our new young players coming through without immediately saying that the older player he might replace or is behind is useless and we don't need him anymore. And I already heard it about 1 o'clock today. Do we really need an injury-prone Allison when Kelleher is this good?
Oh my goodness! Get out of here!
Yeah, already started. After the guy can't just have one amazing game and everyone just be happy. It has to be. They want to seem like they're clever and go, well, hang on a minute. I've been thinking about this a little bit more than you have, and I realized maybe we actually don't need Allison and then just throw in, well, he's injury prone. He's not injury prone. He's just injured. Players get injured. Since he's come to the club, he's had some injuries, but no one's telling me he's injury prone. So we've already got that. So the Diaz thing, I just think he's a bit of an easy target, and they've got to criticize somebody because we're top of the league and we're winning trophies, so they've got to do something. The Nunez thing, that's just Darwin, man. Literally, that guy. Can you imagine what he's like when the cameras are off and he's on holidays playing football with his mates?
No.
The guy is just. We know he's not you see how often he just sits there looking completely bemused and confused by where he is. He just has this kind of constantly. He constantly looks like he's looking around to ask somebody where he is.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is clearly exuberant, OTT, and to win a trophy at the club. Yeah, nothing was going to stop him, man. Nothing was going to. It's chaos. Look, Darwin is all Darwin 24/7. I don't think it ever stops. I just think that's it, and you don't get the good without the yesterday.
Without some of the bad, sure.
Without the potentially causing mass injuries at Wembley and yourself, because that would be totally Darwin to just start a fire in the Royal Boxers accidentally with a pyro. I'm surprised he did. I just think it's Darwin is just non-stop, man, and you got to see it. Because I got told earlier on that we should be embarrassed of ourselves because how badly we played, and that yesterday was a hollow victory. And any real football fan would admit that because we played so badly yesterday and Chelsea played so badly yesterday, it's a hollow victory. And not to celebrate. I mean, that was an Arsenal fan that told me that earlier on. It was a hollow victory. Try telling that to Conor Bradley. Try telling that to McConnell. Try telling that to Darwin. Didn't even play in the final. Hollow victory.
Oh, absolutely.
No, man, you could see what it meant to those kids. Jaden Dans, nearly scored in the cup final. Come on, these guys are still walking on air today. They're floating on air today.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it then. Let's get into some of these ratings. I have some interesting things to bring up before we just about get into it. But what I was going to say is so this is the lineup that I think we picked yesterday. Albeit we got McAllister on the wrong side. At least I believe this was mine, or at least a combined, at least from Brian as well. We're pretty much in the same boat as to what we thought was going to be the case. But there was an interesting tab that I did see, or screen that I saw as well. Let me bring down the quote here so you can see. Our final formation when we subbed on our lineup was we had 5 players, I believe, that were under the age or 21 or under, basically. That's pretty incredible to say that we're going after our final sub that we had an 18-year-old Dons, 20-year-old Elliott, a 19-year-old McConnell, a 19-year-old Clark, 21-year-old Kwanzaa. That's pretty exceptional that was our lineup. That is incredible that these young men are out there and really putting in a shift. That was absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Can I put one quick point on that?
Mm-hmm.
I know it did change sort of at the end, but the average age of the squad, there was less than 6 months in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the average age of Chelsea squad, the average age of our squad, it was pretty much the same. But it just shows you they bought a lot of people that you don't like, the Enzos and the Caicedos that are £100 million footballers. you would think they might be 25, 26. They're all like they're 21 and like
They're
they're
young.
still really
Yes.
young players. But they had a much more senior looking team. But actually, no, and I'm not putting it down. I saw it today. Like the average age and the total age, it was pretty neck. It was pretty much neck and neck. But it just
No, I
showed
get
you
that.
like their young team
23.9
cost
at the start of the
game.
At the start of the game, the first 11 average age for Chelsea was 23.9, and then the average age for us was 25.8. So they had a younger squad technically.
Younger squad, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that, like Virgil and Endo both being past 30 would bring that right up, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That would bring it. That's 60 years, over 60 years there, so that would bring it right up there as well. So. Yeah. And Robbo's over 30.
And this next, we're gonna get after this next stream, we're gonna get into the ratings. But this is something else that I saw. This is from an ESPN FC. This is very interesting too, considering you'll even see it on the rating sheet that I'm going to bring up, or the rating tier. We had so many injuries. Now, albeit I know Chelsea could say they had so many injuries themselves. I definitely understand and agree with that. However, I mean, just the sheer fact of the quality of injuries, the quality of players, I should say, on the team is Mohamed Salah, Darwin Nunez, Diego, Dominic, Curtis, Bichetic, Thiago, Trent, Joel, Allison. You could have a starting lineup basically from this 11 this sheer 11 right here. Let me make sure 3, 6, 9, 10, yeah, and with Gravenberch as well as being the 11th to be subbed off. So you could have the starting lineup with this practically these names right here. Pretty incredible the fact that we've had such a harsh year with injuries this year. But let's go into a better light. Let's get into a more positive thing. Let's try to make Chris Angel in the chat kind of like throw up a little bit, all right, and go into some positive talk. Let's get into these ratings, okay? We're gonna try to rifle through these as best as possible. Again, it's so crazy. If you look at that second tier right there, if you look at this second tier right here, this is all the injured. These are all the players that are injured for our team right there. The second line is all injured players. That's incredible to me. But let's get into the guys that actually brought us home this cup. Let's start off with Brian's countryman. Let's start off with Kelleher. What were you rating Kelleher in this rating? And you can either give like the name, say top tier performance, or you can give the number in the chat as well. Please tell me what you guys rate these players yesterday. So Kelleher, Brian, what was your score for Kelleher?
Couldn't be anything other than a top tier performance, could it?
Yeah.
I don't even first out of the blocks. He was 9 saves, I think he made in the match.
Yes, he did.
At least three of them were
world class.
Match saving. Yeah. I don't think. I'm not going to go down to what the other morons were talking about, Road. But if there's a better number 2 out there, good luck to the team that has him. Fair play. I don't think he kept us in that game. Virgil won that game for us. Yeah.
Why are you taking shots at Zuberi, man?
Shout out to Zuberi.
No. That was it. That was a different. This was a different comment from earlier on today.
Oh.
Saying potentially we didn't need Ali now because Kelleher is this good. But exactly, yeah. So I think he kept us in the game to be in a position to allow us to win it. He was becoming more and more dominant as the game was coming on. Sometimes you see that with a keeper. Every time he made a save, he was twice as likely to save the next one. I know it doesn't work like that, but don't tell the kids. But yeah, for me, absolutely top tier performance. He owns cup finals. He owns Wembley. The man has one of the best. I mean, there's players out there that are legends of the game that would kill for this guy's record at Wembley. 3 finals, 3 cups. 100%
Yeah.
record. I mean, there are literally players out there that would be legends of the game in England that would kill for three corners.
We could name a stand in Wembley for him pretty soon, or something.
Yeah, like London was red and Wembley is it's green, white, and gold yesterday for 70 minutes, and then Virgil wins it for us. A perfect performance. I think a perfect performance.
The love for him is abound in the chat for him. 10s from Drunk Vigo, 10s from Red for Life. Big up to Red for Life, by the way. 10 from Realism Jared. 10 from Dakota. Tyler gave him a 10. Yeah. King Gray gave him a 20. I feel you on that. How about you, Quasi?
He should be because honestly, there was 3 people who man of the match performance.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4. So he should be at the man of the match, competing for the man of the match.
Oh yeah, top tier performance means you're a candidate for man of the match.
Yeah, I'll put him there because it depends on which media you work with. Some media made him man of the match. Some people make Virgil man of the match. There's 2 other players that I think also should be there. So I'll put him at the top. Remember, clean sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Trophy saving.
I know you love your clean sheets. I know you do.
Oh, of course. Thank you. Trophy saving. Trophy saving saves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and then this is what we told people. This guy has been behind the best goalkeeper in the world for 18 months. He's going to be rusty. Just be patient and give him time, and look what he did.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike.
That's why I think, Brian, was you and I who were talking on Crazy Ball TV, again, shameless plug. And we said he needed time because when he was put into that Europa game, he wasn't ready. And he could tell the rhythm. So yeah, he wasn't ready. Now
second best Liverpool channel on YouTube, by the way, Quasi Bowl TV.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, I think he should be in the man of the match contention.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about you, Nilante? I'm sure I know what you're going to give him, but so that you're officially marked on the tally here.
Yeah, easily 10. Come on, top tier, man. Quality performance, man. He's Alisson X. You know what I mean? And it was just, man. Callagher, man. Crucial saves at the end, man. Honestly, top tier. Nothing said. Next.
Yeah. How about let's move on to our young, and Brian's put also, if you haven't subscribed to Quasi Bowl TV, the link is in the chat as well. Be sure to subscribe when you get a chance. Quasi, I'm sure would appreciate it, and I would appreciate it too as well. We got to always support our fellow Reds, and especially content creators out here. They're just trying to bring you some really good content, and Quasi's got some great content on this channel.
You just got to bring in Chris Angel before you move on. Chris Angel went all the way to a 10. A 10 from Chris Angel.
I saw that. I was like, I think that might be a hacked. I think his account's been hacked. To be honest with you, I think it's been hacked. There's no way. That's too positive. That is too positive for our guy Chris. How are you feeling about Connor? We'll start with Quasi this time, and then we'll go to the
man. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. So I don't care. I'm biased.
Right.
They won, so nobody's gonna get below a 7 for me. So
right.
So I'm just gonna let you all know. Even I think the lowest of the 7, if we were doing 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, the lowest of the 7 would have been Gakpo, and he still gets a 7. So Bradley, my man of my own heart. I'll give him a 9. I'll give him a 9.
Yeah,
because
okay.
It's not just, I'm not going to just say the performance, because we've seen him play better than that. But the fact that he played double positions.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would have choked. Do you people know that he's not even 21 yet? Am I correct?
Yeah. I put up that graphic, Yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
He's at Wembley already. We have grown folks who have frozen And this kid was like, nah, it's okay. Gaff, I got you. I'll play the right side till you bring somebody else's in. Nah, he gets a 9 for me, man.
Nalante? And chat, please put your ratings in as well. We can get them. Put in like the name. Put in what tier you want them to go, or you can put the number. It's up to you guys. What was Bradley for you, Nalante?
Yeah, for me, I think it was a simple 9. So yeah, man, he did his job like Quasi said, up and down, 2 wings, young star. He had a solid
Right.
He had a solid cup performance. So yeah, man, 9 for me. 9 for me.
I think the little man's giving him a 9 as well. He's like, maybe give him a 10.
He has his way.
Yeah. Brian, how about yourself? How are you feeling about
Actually, he was trying to tell you this is how Chelsea fans were sounding.
Yes. Spot on.
Video from the game. Yeah, we were.
Right. What's your rating for Connor?
Well, I'd be with the guys. I was playing Football Manager, and it just shows that, like, with the game, as soon as Gravenberch went off, and Gomez was coming on, the commentators were getting a little bit befuddled, a little bit confused, and they were like, "Oh, so what's going on?" And to me, it's like it's immediately obvious. Gomez right back, Elliott midfield, and Bradley right wing. And that was kind of like the third or fourth thing that the commentators were thinking, or maybe even like they suggested 2 or 3 different things. They're like, oh, maybe even Bradley on right wing, and the guy was like, oh, I don't know, I think it was Neville or whatever. And it just shows like they haven't been watching him as much as we have, because I was just immediately, no problem. I'd have no problem with Bradley going on. Like, I don't think in any way is Bradley worse in that position than Elliott would have been. Because when that was Neville and Cara came on, then he was like, he started like he used to play right wing when he was a kid, like they all do fullbacks. They're always either right wingers or midfielders when they're younger. So he comes in there. I was just like perfect. Absolutely no worries whatsoever about the kid. Like, obviously not ideal, but I was like, no, Bradley can do a job up there. I mean, a cup final against Chelsea. What more can you like? Have to be top tier performance. I know he didn't light up the world. Yeah, he didn't light it up. Like he did in. People expect him to
the chat's kind of like there's some 8s in the chat, there's some 9s in the chat, but I mean everyone's saying above average, if not top tier for sure.
No, just for what Quasi was saying, the fact that he played 2 positions.
Yeah.
And he did it both really well. At his age, that experience. He's in the team about a month. Or a couple of months, and we all know what's happened to him with his dad, and to be just. Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah. Drunk Beagle says top tier is a little bit too generous in his opinion. Jean Gray says Bradley gets a 9 because he never cowered despite a senior player trying to rough him up. Love it. That's what Chris Angel was saying too. He went from he originally was an 8, but he said just for altercation with Chilwell, he should get a 9. Yeah, Chilwell's hissy fit. We're gonna have a bin player of the game, basically a nomination after the ratings. Chilwell's definitely a nominee for me in that category. But I'll put him at a 9. So let's just move on to Ibu then. Ibu, Brian, what's your? We'll circle back. What's your feelings on Ibu?
I would put him in the 8.5 category. I'd be very reluctant to, because it's the final. I'd be giving way, extra all the time. So I'd be putting most of them in top tier performance. I think Canale did his job as well.
He did.
Yeah, I put Canale. Canale can go in top tier performance as well for me.
Oh wow! Okay. He put 88 touches, 4 out of 8 for ground duels, 3 out of 4 for aerial duels. Had 4 fouls, was fouled twice. 2 clearances, 1 block shot, 4 interceptions, 2 tackles. Ibu, 8.5 is getting rating from Jean Gray. So you have him at 9. Okay. What was your rating, Quasi?
I think I agree with Jin. Who's Jin? I agree with Jin. 8.5. He
8.5.
was imperious. The guy was just a monster. He
Yeah.
had Sterling. Somebody called 911 because Sterling 999 on the other side of the pond.
Yeah, 999 for the other side. Yeah.
Because Sterling is still in his pocket. That's assault on the old man.
Took him off. Quasi took him off, didn't you?
Yep, he took him off.
Sterling off. Took him off. Couldn't get anything out.
Sterling highlight was the offside goal the whole game.
Yeah.
And the boost.
How about Nalante? I was just reading. I'm sorry, I was reading Base of Flowers comment. How about for you, Nalante? What's your feelings about our Ibu?
Listen, man, I see the guys. I'm gonna go a certain another way. I don't think he was as great as he was performances. Now, the thing about Sterling, but there's a couple of times Ibu let Sterling, well, again, the same time as a little ball and the goal, and another day he could have cost us. And one or two times he did actually lose his man at times of Chelsea's attacks, but at the same time, Ibu does what, in terms of runs. I think was it from Jackson, a lot of times he let him slip, if I'm honest. I can't really give him the over. But overall, Ibu, one thing you get him, the heart, the determination, the hunger, and he had 1 or 2 blocks. So, I mean, if I would say 8.5, 8.5.
Okay. I kind of want to notch him up to that 9, considering that, like, if it wasn't for Gomez or Ibu, especially, Ibu's like the enforcer now when it comes to, like, oh, you got a problem with a player, you best believe Ibu is coming. He's going to be the next man in on that fight. He had the yellow card at the time too, and he was still getting involved. I was like, oh no, this might get ugly. But
Toph, just to reiterate before you go on the next parade, sorry, when you're saying about Uber, do you remember, I think we all remember the 5-0 beatdown of them punks at Toilet Trafford, and Curtis Jones, Ronaldo was giving Curtis Jones a kick, and what did Ibu? Bounce, move.
Yeah.
And then what did Ronaldo turn his head and walk away like a sport child?
I don't want none of that. Yeah. I don't want none of that smoke. Yeah, I remember.
Like Canade, if you stand, like, Virgil is an absolute mountain. If you stand Canade next to Virgil looks small. Virgil just looks like a normal human being next to Canade.
Yeah.
Canade is just, when he wants to be, you're not getting past him. Yeah. Absolute monster of a man. Like, Ronaldo just shrank into the ground. Disappeared.
That was so poignant. So good to see. I love that Ibu's an enforcer for us, and rightfully so, because we need it, because a lot of teams think they can push us around and bully us, and I think that's silly, just because we have quality and because we're looking to play the game and trying to involve ourselves in it. They think they can push us around, and I'm like, that just can't be the case. How about it moves on? We move on to our captain, my captain, your captain, our captain, captain. Virgil van Dijk. How are you feeling about Virgil van Dijk? We'll start with Brian. We'll start Brian, Quasi, and Nilante. We'll keep that same order at least. Mm-hmm. Brian, how are you feeling about Virgil?
What can you say that hasn't been said? What can I say that won't be said after me? Man of the match. Man of the match. Yeah. Put him in the top tier with the rest, so we can chop it up and sort it out about the orders and all of that. But he'll be my man of the match anyway. So put him in the top tier there.
He's first.
A header, like I spoke about it before, and how he likes to place them and all of that, because he's such his technique is so good. And I was saying that, he might score more if he got into kind of rough and tumbly bits, but when they go in, like, that's 2 headers that I reckon most strikers in world football would be proud of, those headers, let alone a central defender. Yeah. I mean, they're placed as good as any shot. There's pure intent to put it where it went. Knowing how, look, big up to McConnell. McConnell comes on. He makes that happen.
Yeah.
McConnell gets into that space on the right. He gets a deflection. Out goes the ball. Tsimikas has a corner, and Van Dijk just ghosting in now. He did have a lot of space and time, but I mean, any striker in world football would be proud of that. So I don't know what more we could have done yesterday. Clean sheet, the whole lot. And then going up the steps first as captain for the first time. A perfect day. Lou Reed job. Absolute total Lou Reed job yesterday.
Yeah. Totally. Kwasi?
I mean, how do I follow Brian? I mean, it's what it is, man. Captain Fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, we were told he was finished. That's why they told us.
That's what they told us.
That's why they told us. So
guys lost a step. He'll never reach the levels he can ever be at.
That's why they said. Apparently, they know the future.
Hey, never doubt the heart of a champion. That's how I see it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's at the top, and he stays at the top, and he's very lonely out there.
How about for you, Nalante? Nalante's dealing with the youngins, so he might be not able. Okay, he's here.
Yeah, sorry.
You got your shout. There's one other player I want to make sure you get your shout for, but
yeah. But, I think I know. Yeah. I'll just be brief anyway, man. Actually, with Kelleher, I think he deserves to be 10 as well, alongside Van Dijk. When I think about it, because we could have lost the game. We nearly lost the game, you know. But anyway, back to Van Dijk. I mean, I'm gonna be boring because what has Brian said, what has Quasi said, and what have you said? What else can I add to the man? Well, Quali, and I'm gonna say this now. Again, it's hard for me to read, and I've seen a lot of defenders in my time. In my personal opinion, humbly, I believe Van Dijk is the best Premier League defender we've had since the Premier League began. Because and what can he not do? He can tackle, he can jockey, he's got pace, strength, he reads the game well, he can bag it in left foot, right foot, he can do 50-yard balls, header in, he's a mountain, he knows how to position himself. I remember one game against the 2018-19 season, we beat Tottenham 2-1 in the race for the title. And I remember Tottenham had a 2-on-1, I think Sissoko and Son, and Van Dijk, the smart man as he is, position himself, jockeyed himself, so he go to the wrong player and he pull it over the bar. I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean, chat, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know I'm a Liverpool fan, but yeah, we've had some quality defenders. Name me a defender that's better than him in all aspects. When we think about, I'm not talking about what they want, I'm talking about as a footballer. Who? Tell me now. Tell me. 10. We move. Thank you.
That's right. I like it.
I'm going to get my flak jacket. I'm going to get my flak jacket. I'm going to get my helmet. I'm going to get all my taxi. I'm going to get the sandbags because, unfortunately, I wouldn't be staying true to myself if I didn't say everything he's done, everything he can do, everything he can do on the ball. Rio Ferdinand could do, and I hate Rio Ferdinand. I hate Man United. I hate Rio Ferdinand. But Rio Ferdinand was Kobe Bryant. He was, you know, whatever you want to call it. Rio was pretty much as good as it gets. So it's name someone who can do it better. But it's not a better or worse. It's like anything that you can say Van Dijk is world class at, Ferdinand was world class at. And when it comes to a situation like that, it might come down to trophies and medals. But I don't think, I think there's 3 in it if you're talking about the Premier League. I wouldn't be. I think it'd be disingenuous to say that, like, as much as I hate it, like, Ferdinand was absolutely world class. He just was. He was just phenomenal.
To say it. I understand that.
He broke the world. he broke the world record for a defender twice in the space of 2
Right.
seasons before he was 23. Like he played. I mean, the guy was special. So when you're talking about him and Van Dijk, I think really the question is, are you a Liverpool fan or a Man United fan? Because no Man United fan will ever say that Van Dijk could win another 3 league title.
Yeah,
But
so
I mean,
true.
you're just talking about two. You're talking about two of the best that ever played a game in the Premier League, without a doubt. Van Dijk is as good as, I think, almost as good as Ferdinand. That for me is the big.
We
He's
need to
past Terry.
definitely. If you haven't got an opportunity, if you look at my catalog now that I'm starting to build with episodes. Earlier in the year, I took it upon, and Quasi and I were talking about it too. Especially, he knows the fervor I had behind it. When people were really getting on Virgil, they're kind of questioning if he was ever going to be at that level, or if he was even a consideration to be put in mention of as the best defender in the league. It was a time when Saliba was gaining so much momentum and everything else, and blah blah blah. Well, check out that episode. It's very interesting because I include actually some of Rio, because Rio and Virgil did a best center backs of the Premier League era segment, and it was interesting because Rio rated himself and put himself number one. Virgil did the greatest.
Always took himself. Always.
Exactly.
Always.
Oh yeah, I think that was the one where John Terry got upset, had a little hissy fit, and added him at Twitter saying, "How can you be left out of top 5?"
Right.
Because you're a CEO next Tuesday, John.
Yeah, literally.
John Terry, the whole thing, John Terry thing is English tax. They're forcing it so hard to make us think that he's one of the greatest defender the EPL ever seen. John Terry is not better than Ledley King. He's not better than what's the name? Homie who went from Spurs to Arsenal.
Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
All right, and then there's Ferdinand. There's so many defenders who are way, way better. John Terry became good because you have to look at the person beside him and the two people in front of him. This guy had the opportunity to play with Makelele. He had the opportunity to play with ACN. And he had the opportunity to play with managers who were very pragmatic. Of course, he's going to look good.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, that's right too. I'm like, okay, well, let's do some revision real quick. When Uncle Abraham said, I want sexy football, that's why he chased Pep for so long and brought Big Phil in. And they started opening up. Terry was exposed every single time. So if you're going to be a good defender, good center back, it doesn't matter the style of play, you should be able to fit seamlessly. Virgil, you could take him to Mars. He's going to be fine. So
Virgil could play in any era. I agree.
Any era you put him.
You can put it in Virgil.
100%.
Any era, he's top. He's a top tier.
You could take Virgil to Barcelona, Real Madrid, anywhere, and he will fit in perfectly. You do the same thing with Terry.
Any league.
Terry's going to get exposed. Yeah. Terry's going to get exposed.
Any competition, any era. He's top. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't come up here and be like, oh, he's one of the greatest. Why? Oh, well, he had Mourinho. Mourinho parked the bus. That's why they had 17 goals in one season one time. Right? And then you have ACN.
Prime Mourinho.
You got ACN and what's his name? ACN and Makelele standing in front of you. I'll be the greatest defender either. You put those two guys in front of me. No goals coming in. Right? So yes, John Terry, yes. You know the funny thing is, when you ask Chelsea fans, what does John Terry bring? They say, oh, his leadership. And it's the same thing we used to say about Henderson.
No, I get that. But then again, you know what? Unfortunately for Virgil, he has some unfortunate critics from his home country that are always so critical of him and his leadership and everything else that I think that's become
them people hating is on a different level. They will sell their mama if they feel like their mama is doing better than them. That's how they are. That's why they never win. They have had the most talented team, the talented athletes, players, any generation, and they still can't win. That should tell you something.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's get it on to Rob because we have because we had 6 subs, there's 17 people to evaluate. So I'm gonna try to go through these quickly, and we'll spend time on those that are top tier performance candidates, but we'll just like drop a name or a number for some of these players so we can get through them all. I'm gonna move on to Robbo. Robbo, I thought had a good performance. What are you guys rating Robbo? Brian, your first.
Not a huge amount. Probably give him an 8.
An 8.
No, he had a good game. Yeah, like they're all in the old the upper
7 and up. Yeah, no one's gonna get 7 or lower.
Clean
no one's
sheet
gonna
in
get
the cup.
Yeah,
clean sheet in the cup man. So but he's not in the top here. So yeah, definitely in the above average.
Okay, Quasi.
Yep, 8.
8. Milante.
8 all round. 8 for me.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Robbo gets an 8.
Perfect timing again. Perfect.
That was perfect timing. Gene Gray gave Robbo an 8 as well. Okay. Yes, it looks like 8 is a solid rating. I don't want to necessarily rate Gravenberch only because Gravenberch was playing well up to the injury, to be honest with you. And it's unfortunate that he didn't get the time to really mature his game into more. But I'll put an NA despite him spending like 30 some odd minutes on the pitch. Is that okay for you guys?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so let's go to no, not yet. We're gonna save him. Let's move on to Macca. Let's go on to Macca. How do you guys feel about Macca? I thought Macca had a great, it really put in a shift for us. 87 minutes. We definitely want to monitor his minutes because Macca is going to be someone that we need and one of the definitely more influential players for the team that we have. 83 touches, 86% passing, 3 key passes, 2 out of 3 first crosses. Had a shot on target. It wasn't a good shot. It was just right at the goalie. And then 10 out of 14 for ground duels. Let me repeat that. 10 out of 14 for ground duels.
Who are we talking
about? This is Macca. This is out. This is was fouled. Had 2 fouls, but was fouled 3 times because he was a problem. Had 1 clearance, 6 tackles. Really putting a great shift, man. What are you guys saying, Brian, for Macca?
Yeah, because that sounded like Endo numbers there for a second, but I'd missed what you said.
Oh, we're gonna get Endo's numbers.
Yeah, he'd be in the 8 category as well. Just you could see he was goosed, so he definitely took him off because if he was able to, he wouldn't be taking him off. So you could see he had definitely run his race for us yesterday.
Yeah. Maybe we should call him Cheese because mac and cheese is big in the States here. So everyone loves them some mac and cheese.
So you go with this 12.
Everybody wants some mac and cheese, I'm sure.
Oh man, it's good. It's good. I don't even like pasta. I really don't like pasta at all. And mac and cheese, if it's good, yeah, I'll eat that. I'll eat that, and it's
Quasi, what was your rating for Macca?
Very high 8.
Very high 8. Okay, like 8.5. I got you.
Yeah, very, very high 8.
Because we can do the left to right thing.
Yeah, we did left to right. We just put him in
right. You are, the lower down you are.
Yeah.
So it can be like the guy that's furthest left is the highest in that tier, and the guy that's furthest right is the lowest in that tier. So that's where you do get to have your 0.2s and your 0.3s.
Yeah, your point. Yeah. That's the 8.5s and the 8.7s out there. Yeah. Nilante, what were you giving Mac?
Yeah, I kind of agree with the guys, man. At 8, man, he was, started all around. He put in the shift. He did thread some little bits and pieces when we had to change formation. So yeah, man, 8 for Macca. He was solid. He done the push shift for us.
Would you real quick from the 3 of you? We'll go Brian, Quasi, and Nilante. Should I put him ahead of ahead of Ibu, or is Ibu ahead of Max?
I'm in the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah.
In the middle, Lamonte?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because you got the clean sheet. So.
Yeah, Big
I
Evo
mean, the
got the
guy
clean
was
sheet
putting
too.
in work.
He did.
People got a yellow card.
Yeah.
Gotta take one.
Yes, you definitely do. Let's go on to my guy, your guy, our samurai warrior in the middle. Someone that's warmed our hearts. I definitely have been out there saying that I had a feeling and a real, I just had a real feeling, gut feeling that he was going to do what he did at Stuttgart, in that he was going to be that like cult hero, not going to be the world's best DM in the world or something like that, but was just going to make you say, wow, I appreciate that this guy is on the pitch, Wataru Endo. How are you feeling about yeah. How are you feeling about Brian? How are you feeling about our samurai warrior, Brian?
Just what I've always really said. It's a player that I was Googling, like I said, I didn't get involved in the I love Endo or the I hate Endo or he's class or he's shite, because I'm literally Googling the guy. I've never seen him play. I've never watched anything. So it's like, okay. I mean, I can only kind of judge it in the terms that I've seen football before. An older guy that's brought in, we didn't get a guy, so we bring in an older guy. So, right, fine, he's a stopgap. But like I spoke to you about this the other night, Gary McAllister. Gary McAllister was 35 34, 35 when he joined the club. And he transformed our midfield and became like that cult hero. So it was always just for me a matter of, okay, I'm not going to say, oh, I knew it, he was crap, or I knew it, he was brilliant, because I just didn't know who he was. Like I was saying, still in my head when I picture him, he's got that shaved bald head. I'm still surprised every time I see him and he has hair, because I just thought he was the other guy that played for Japan. I thought he was their other defensive midfielder enforcer. That's how little I knew about him. I'd watched them play, but they all have, with respect, names that sound similar to Endo. And when I didn't know, at that point, I didn't know he joined Liverpool, so I wasn't paying any attention to it. I watched Japan, and they look brilliant. But yeah, again, I was happy to be, surprised or won over, or whatever you call it. But I just thought he always needed just a bit of time to grow in, because his game is fully formed. He's 31 years old. His game is fully formed. You're not going to teach him the first touch or the basics of passing or how to be a defensive midfielder. It was just about how quickly could he get settled in. How quickly, now coming from Germany to England is very, very, very similar. If you're coming from, like, he was coming straight from Japan, so he had a little bit of, European kind of culture. So he had a bit, but he's still coming to a brand new league, brand new country, brand new language. I just thought, and you can see it in every game, he started showing for the ball a bit more, tackling a bit more. I think he's right up there. It's great to see him evolve and see just his confidence to do what his natural game is, which is tackle people, be a pit bull in midfield, get it, give it, win the next one, get it, give it, and don't stop. Top tier performance without a doubt yesterday. Just totally top tier.
How about for you, Quasi?
He's in the Virgils, those group. So this guy, he gave everything to Liverpool, man. So I mean, this is where sometimes, and I will say this again, football is simple. And we got too many ITKs in this space called YouTube. And people are coming up and his age and this and that, and clubs say, I just need you for your heart and your legs. Is that what he did yesterday? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's frustrating, but it's good to be a Liverpool fan. Yeah, Wataru, man. You know, he got injured, and he played like he wasn't injured.
He was going to go through. Yeah, he didn't. He was going to get through that because he knew we needed him.
His leg was wrapped into a boot. Yeah, he was walking. Yeah, he was on crutches.
Yeah,
they always put him in those boots now, though. Like if they're those protective boots.
Even if it's CERN, right? Yeah.
But when they were walking around, clapping with the crowd and all that, he didn't
limping.
have anything on then, but you could see then he was limping.
He was
really
limping,
obvious. Yeah, it was like, okay, look at him hop along Cassidy over there. So this is what I'm talking about. Wednesday. Most of these guys shouldn't leave me anywhere on the bus or in the stands. No, just leave them at home. All of them leave them at home. Play all the kids.
Yeah,
these guys are getting kicked. Caicedo was trying to break people. Yeah,
Caicedo. I have no love for Caicedo right now at this moment. I thought Caicedo was playing reckless. Yeah, bun that guy.
When the adrenaline wore off and all the other bodily things that stop you hurting immediately, where like a lot of those guys are going to be getting back to the dressing room, and then the adrenaline from the cup, and then they're going to wake up the next morning absolutely in agony. Bruises all over the place. And, oh, look at there. There's one from Mr. Caicedo. He was wearing Nikes yesterday. Oh, yeah, there's one from Mr. Enzo. Yeah, he was wearing those new Adidas. You can see that imprinted there. Yeah. Nice. Lovely.
We'll say we saved the best for last, Nolante. Because I know I say the best as in like I know he has something that he wanted to get off his chest. How are you feeling about and at least allow for you to have the floor?
That's very kind of you, 12 man. But I know you just want me to say yes, tough man. I'm sorry. I mean, I would get you some chicken and waffles down in USA, but it's all good. But yeah, like I said, and as I stated, again, I don't know about you, Quasi and Brian. You can correct me, but actually, Brian, you did actually allude to it at the start when we got Endo. I was the one that said, we could have got better midfielders out there near the ton, and I was thinking, Stuttgart. I've seen Endo play actually, and he's been all right. Don't get me wrong. And I thought, he'll struggle with the pace. We don't need this. We're going to challenge. But boy, 12 man. Day one, he beat the drum, said, that's my Japanese warrior. And and look what I have been totally convinced. It's not about yesterday. He's picked up performance slowly but surely. And what it reminds me with Endo is a similar way he's done to Fabinho. It's just slowly just let him come in, get to grips with our play and fair play. And his performance reminded me of a Mascherano, of a prime Fabinho. Who else can I think of? A man where in a different way. And the thing is, I realize about Hendo, which I'm learning about him, he's got underrated good feet. He really has underrated with good feet with the ball. And it was a masterclass. It was the way he dictated tempo.
He's able to keep the ball close to him.
Yeah, the way he moves the ball quickly, he's like a South American player. It's something I would think Enzo would do, which he didn't. But he's close control. He's moving with the ball. He's defending. He was on point. And then when the stoppers came, same thing. Kept it moving quickly, quick control. Spread and attacked. And he had a shot in the second half. He was a little bit wide, but he was just so confident. And he's a good shield from the back. I mean, he's just top 10 Endo, man. So class. And just to leave it at this, can you think about this? At the start, I mean, again, when we bid for Caicedo, I didn't want him, if I'm honest. So I wanted someone else, if I'm honest. I wasn't bothered about not us getting him. But can you imagine that midfield is £220 million worth of talent, and Endo, a World Cup winner, and someone who's highly rated, and Endo had them both in his back pocket, and that showed him. He's a credit to his family. Endo, Japanese samurai, us and 12 man, we salute you. Alongside Virgil, top 10. I'm done.
Definitely. Lot of love and praise. I mean, I know I mentioned Redbird was another candidate that was very high on him. Big up to LFC Aaron in the house. Big up LFC Aaron. I see you, brother.
Can I just say? Can I just one small thing? Yeah, like I said it before. I think I said it with Nunez. every player needs a game. Every new player needs that one game that just kind of announces themselves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just kind of that one game where basically fans from other clubs and people that are saying, oh, that Endo guy is really good. You know, just that one thing where you go, I'm here now. And that's what gives a player that confidence. Because just the more he's playing and the more he basically on a tackle by tackle basis, you can see him getting more and more confident. So I think yesterday was his game where he won't get all the headlines, but I think he arrived yesterday, properly arrived is the term used.
I can understand that. Yeah. He won't get all the headlines, but he's definitely. I think the goal, the header that he had in Europa was a big like exhale for him. I think that I think for at least Liverpool fans, for me at least, I thought him getting the goal against Fulham was a big like hello, like this guy is going to give whatever we can give. When he had the goal that ended up the equalizer in that game, and then Trent went on to get the game winner. But you're right. There's always that game that you're just like, that's my guy, that's my G, you know, that's my red.
Yeah, it's when fans of other, it was like with Bradley a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to one of my mates. He's an Arsenal fan, and he just played his second game, so maybe against Norwich or something. And I was just saying to him, "Oh, Bradley." He was like, "Oh, what's the crack with him?" I was like, "Don't worry, man. Everyone's going to give it 2 weeks, and everyone's going to be talking about this kid." And 2 games later, everyone's talking about it. Not just Liverpool fans, not Liverpool media, national media, and that's when you know you've made the leap.
Yeah. How about there's another young man that's been, rather rightfully or wrongfully critiqued as not being Liverpool level, and that's our young Harvey Elliott. I think sometimes people look at him as being they don't recognize that he is a youngster all the same. When I mentioned all those guys under 21, he's one of those guys on the pitch, but yet he's looked at as being, someone that knows is a part of the veteran senior as a senior player, I guess you could say in that sense. So how are you feeling about Harvey Elliott? What was your rating for Harvey? And I'd like to hear the chat. I don't know if we have Rasta Crab in the chat or not, but I would like to see how you guys feel about Harvey as well. So in the chat as well. So Brian, what was your rating for Harvey?
Yeah, he got the Bradley thing as well. He had to switch around and do a couple of different roles.
Right mid. Yeah, he went to right mid for a little bit, then went back up. Went back up to right wing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's not his position, and it's been from day one. It was the refrain for a long time. Harvey isn't a right winger when Klopp never played him on the right wing. Yeah, I don't know. It took longer. I've never seen it take so long to sink in with people. I think the guy played about 70 games in midfield, and maybe one on midfield on right wing as an emergency. We sent him to Blackburn. We brought him in from Fulham. Everyone just thought he was an attacking midfielder because they didn't really watch him, and that's where all the kids get played. We sent him to Blackburn. They were playing him out wide. We rang Blackburn up. Tony Mowbray said, "No, man, that's not the deal. He needs to play in central midfield. Do you want to do that? Does that work for you, or bring him back in January?" They're like, "No, that's cool. Bring him in central midfield." That's literally been it. Since he was at Blackburn, since he came back to Liverpool, he's probably played. Ignore these 2 games now that Salah's been out. Ignore them. He's probably played twice at right wing for Liverpool. Every other game he's ever played for us has been in the midfield 3. And I heard it for 2 years. Oh, Elliott isn't good enough to play right wing for Liverpool. It's a good job he isn't playing there then, isn't it? I just never understand. Like, he's a bit of a guy that like you said, his age, I don't get what more people want from him. He's just...
I know. Yeah.
He's more goal contributions off the bench from anybody else this season. He's close to 100 games for Liverpool, and he's still a kid, basically. Still qualifies for the under 21. Yeah, every time he plays, he never gives you less than the best Harvey Elliott. Maybe sometimes it's not that good, but they are good enough for people. But I can't, like, after with a performance like it, he has to win the top tier because of switching positions, holding that team together, playing like a 26, 28-year-old. Doesn't set the world on fire, no, but an unsung hero. Already at this age, he's become like an unsung veteran hero type, which is just crazy.
Honesty says Red Bull Harvey. I called him mid as a starter, but gotta be. I think that's gotta be real. I don't know what GR means, but he is shutting him up, so he has to apologize. 9. He kept going nonstop. He is. I like the Red Bull Harvey. That's an interesting way of putting it. Delonte, what did you feel about Harvey?
No, Harvey, again, he gets a lot of flack, and it's not his fault. End of the day, he's a lifelong Liverpool fan, so him coming to the club was a dream. And yeah, a lot of games he hasn't worked out, but I've always seen him as even the criticism, along with my brother, who I'll mention and come as a sub. I mean, don't get me started, but was to keep him, man. Again, like you summed it up, Torf and Brian. He's a young man. One thing I'm gonna say about Harvey is I saw a little change in him. I don't know, I wouldn't say leadership, but it's like in the extra time when all the legs are tired, he took the game by the scruff of the neck. I saw him weaving about, trying to make runs, trying to make things happen, thread balls. I think again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think when Dan's hit the Petrovic save, he tipped the ball over from a header. I don't know if that was from his cross. So correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, sorry. But he was taking the game by the scruff of the neck. I saw a little bit of Harvey, which I don't think anyone's seen before. Extra time, he stepped up. He's like a veteran, just trying to make things happen with the ball, push the team forward, just knit the play together. Man, 9, man. Fair play to Harvey, man. 9.
Where am I put? You know what? I know where I'm going to put him. I got you. I got put Harvey in
Neilante,
when
you think about it, when you think about it, right? We're saying that, and I'm like, yeah, because Elliott's out there, and all of a sudden he's surrounded by players, Clark, McConnell, Dan, that were 14 when he came to the club. he's looking at guys on the pitch around him in the cup final that when he showed up at Liverpool 4 years ago, some of these guys were children, proper children.
Yeah.
So he's in that naturally, like, oh, I'm the senior guy here, and that's brilliant to see.
Yeah.
It was the same with Robbo. I know, like, they basically it was pulled out right at halftime. If you look at the extra time, right, basically all we had was players like Robbo and Jurgen Klopp just going around slapping people in the head, going, brilliant, amazing, just slapping people. All that thing that they do now, just geeing them up and just going, come on, man, come on, go, brilliant. No tactical stuff, no little this and that. And you see all the Chelsea lads all being given instructions and this and that. Lads, it's way too late for that. Klopp had it right. Klopp showed you yesterday how to manage in that scenario. Start slapping people on the back of the head and telling them they're brilliant. That's all you can do with them. Start and go, come on, go out there. Like this guy, the other guys are trying to tell him you need to go here, you need to go there, you need to do this, you need to do that. Klopp's like, lads, come on, too late for that. Just tell the kids that they're brilliant. Go out there, express yourselves, enjoy yourselves. You win a cup, who cares? Just have fun.
No, that's what they said over here on 100%. Our broadcast in the States, at least on the broadcast we had. They mentioned the fact that the team was huddled around, like they were so tight, they're close together for Klopp. They were like listening, they were getting instructions and such. But for Poch, there were teams that were they were stretching out their calves, and they were like all over the place. No, there wasn't any like real unity in their huddle before.
And Klopp was just walking around the place laughing his head off. Yeah, just taking all the tension out of it. Just doing his best, just take all the tension out. Yeah. This guy, man. This guy, we're not gonna realize this when he's gone. until he's gone.
Yeah,
Unless we get
I know. Trust me.
His
There
man
are
management
some
stuff is next level, man. His man management is next level.
Yes, it is for sure. Quasi, you want to get a rating in? We're going to get a shout. Since he's a top tier performer, I assume you're going to give him a 9. But you can't give him an 8. You can give him whatever rating you like.
No, he balled out. This is the thing, though. That's why I say keep the game simple. One thing about Harvey is he's becoming his own man. When he first came in and he's following Salah, he's trying to replicate what Salah is doing. Go to the right, cut back to your left. This is the same game he played against West Ham, and you guys saw how he balled out. You know, and every time he plays like this, where he runs around, find those pockets in the right side, you know, he affects the game. And, you know, he's direct. So he's coming with the ball right at your throat. Eventually, he's still young, man. People think he's like 28 or 29. This guy is still, what, 22?
21, man.
21. He's a baby.
If we bought him tomorrow, Quasi, people would be like, chill out, give him a couple of years. He's only 21.
21 kid. You wait till his game is fully developed. His game is not going to develop until he's 26.
Hashtag 21 kids, man. Get them super chats in.
And he plays like an adult. So people need to chill and enjoy what they see. Because like Klopp, this is why Klopp said this is the most special trophy in 20 years because it's everything that came together.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, how about this? Let's move on to I'm going to end on a good note. So let's move on to Cody. How are you guys rating Cody? Cody was possibly the closest, I think, in my opinion. I'll just get it out there. I think Cody was closest to that 7, if we're going to give anyone a 7. But he was certainly, but you could say, you know, he wasn't as involved in the game as I would have liked to have been. He's 87 minutes. He had 2 shots, but one hit the woodwork. He did have a shot that did hit the woodwork that I thought was going in. That was the header, I think, that was he had. But he only had 21 touches, 7 out of 11 for passing. He had 3 key passes, though. He did have 3 key passes. So he was a good linkman for that. It was 0 out of 5 for his ground duels, 1 out of 2 for aerial duels. Obviously, the one that he won for the header was offside once. Yeah, okay game. I'm high on Agent Cody, but for me, I think it probably would have been like a 7. I know it's horrible because I know we all want to but I don't know. He wasn't a negative on the game, but he definitely wasn't. I don't think he was above average in the game per se. What's your feeling, Brian?
Yeah, you kind of convinced me as well. For once, you convinced me into a negative from a positive. He did hit the post, so he did have some kind of he got about the place a bit. But you're right, yeah. I couldn't put him up in the slot with the other 3 guys that are above him, so he'd have to go into the 7.5 average slot because the other boys above him definitely, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, he definitely kind of was. Yeah, the best, the worst of like a really class performance, I suppose.
Yeah,
I'm looking for. He scored in every other round. That would have been a nice record. He'd scored in every round. That would have
been a nice record to have. It would have been. Yeah. It would have been. How about for you, Nalante? Where are you putting Cody, Agent Cody, as I like to say?
Yeah, with Cody, man, it's just a shame, man. Yeah, 7 for me, man. You just, as Brian said, reiterated to that header, and after that, he's just too in and out of the game. I think some of his shot selections were wrong. He was a step behind the game. I think McAllister had a through ball, and he went. If he would have connected, that would have been through. But yeah, and then he was just, I don't know. Just off the pace a bit. I don't know what it is with Cody right now. It's the same with the Arsenal game. He was a bit anomalous. Like, he's just out of form. And on the flip side, to caveat that, I mean, he hasn't helped Klopp. He's been playing all over the place, you know. He's sticking to one. But right now, if everyone's fit, Cody has to hold bench. So, Unfortunately, Cody, he's got to improve. But yeah, 7 for Cody.
Okay. Quasi, how you feeling about Cody?
Between 7.75. He didn't affect the game offensively, but he was helping out with the midfield quite a bit. He kept dropping into spaces. I think Diaz was getting his way a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is he also is one of those guys who needs consistent game time. So these chances, he needs to take it. Because when the other
he should have
guys come
scored.
in,
He should have scored on one. Now that I'm thinking about it, there was a shot. There was an attempt that he had that he skied it. It was unlike him because he's normally like on target with shots. And he knew it.
His confidence is a little bit lower than most of them, and I mean he held his own. He helped out. So
yeah.
I'm not going to. Yes, I will say, like I said, aesthetically he wasn't nice to see, but he put in the shift. That's the reason why a club kept him on for a long time. He needs to. I know this is a narrative, but I don't want to be fully part of it. But he also needs to find his comfortability and stop trying to be a guard, a Swiss Army tool.
Mm-hmm.
Where, they want me at midfield, then you go play. They want me here. No. Find a spot and tell the manager, I want to be here. And then become...
That's the big boy move. That's the big boy move, though, isn't it?
Because, what's the name? If you look at Gravenberg, they tried the same thing and he was nothing. Then Klopp put him back on the left, and then we were like, wait a minute, this guy is sick. And then he moved him to the right, and then we were like, what's going on with this guy? So you can see it. They all realize that he's better on the left, and he needs to be on the ball more. But Gakpo needs to find a position and tell the manager, keep me here as much as possible. I'll be there for everything else, but...
I've been saying it for... Enzo been saying it. A lot of people saying it since pretty much day one, Quasi. He needs to nail that position down because as soon as you're too versatile,
you
end up never playing because you'll never be the first choice in any position. You'll always be the second choice in 2 or 3. And I always ask people, what's his best position? And most people seem to say to me, left wing. So
I think he is more of an attacker. He's an old school poacher, right? But
I think he's a second striker. I think he's a second striker.
Oh, even a second striker. But the thing
with poacher, not for me.
Yeah.
Because when he first got to Liverpool, the goals he was scoring was just a poacher's goal. He's always in the box.
Right.
The system does not allow him to come in the box often.
Yeah, I guess.
So he has to say, Klopp is going to say to him, make me drop Diaz, make me drop Nunez, make me drop Salah. Where do you want me to play it? So make that spot your own.
Yeah.
So I think maybe off the left, he's going to say, make me drop Diaz, make me make you number 1 first choice.
Right. I know, and I get that.
And again, let's forget this because it's not about Klopp. I mean, in a month. 2 months.
It's not about it's not about impressing him for next season or anything like that. For right now, you're just trying to please him. You're trying to please him for trying to just get in the squad, and that's what Beijing Pop is saying. He says Cody is the Swiss Army knife. He can't nail down a position this season, in his opinion. And I think that we need a Swiss Army knife. Unfortunately, if it wasn't for him, we would have been really, really searching for some of the roles that we need filled for this club during whether it was injury or suspensions. He did his thing. I mean, he tried to commit or try to contribute from midfield, right wing, left wing, striker, wherever you put him, he's willing to go and give it his all. So that much I can give it to Agent Cody. So I'm high on his ceiling is still out there. But this next player is someone I definitely want to hear and see what you guys rate him as. Should be interesting. I know I would have put him in a top tier performance, but despite not scoring, I still would have had him in a top tier performance. Lucho, how do you feel about Lucho, Brian?
Yeah, he was his usual sort of Lucho self yesterday. All the things you expect. Yeah, like you said earlier on, didn't quite cap it off with anything, but made a few runs, beat a few people a few times, worked super hard. It was a major part of what we did. But you can't. He
Played
couldn't. He doesn't
120
have
minutes.
a.
Played 120 minutes,
Yeah.
by the way, too.
Because he was cooked. He was goosed. Like the lads were saying earlier on, he was told to stay up front, stop chasing back. He was absolutely done. So it was just like, just stay on the pitch. So he didn't have that crowning moment in the game. So I wouldn't be putting him up above, any of the other lads. But he'd be, down on the far end of the top tier performances. But yeah, great game. But like I say, he didn't have that kind of that moment to put him up there with Keller and Van Dijk and Endo, maybe. So.
Yeah. How about for you, Nilante?
Yeah, Diaz is a bit of a weird one, to be honest. It's hard because he started the game, he was attacking, he was taking on Gospel, and Gospel, that was a 50-50 battle. I felt Diaz would have more the better of him, but Costa's a good player, you get me wrong, but I just feel the Diaz of when he first came up till last season before the knee injury would have taken him, shred him to pieces. But that being said, he was always trying. He's a winning runner. He tried to take on, and like Brian said, he was goose. So I mean, he had a few shots on goal that he could have done, and to be honest, I think I'll give Diaz an 8. An 8 for me.
Okay. I think the little man thinks different, but it's all good. Quasi bold. Quasi bold.
Leave him out of this 12. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, exactly. Quasi. How are you feeling about Lucho? What would be your rating? And please, chat, tell me what you guys thought of what tier you want to put him in.
Lucho, I think he will either be ahead of Ibu or right behind Ibu. Like I said, he wasn't pleasing to the eye, but the man put on a shift. He got a couple of chances that he should have scored, and then he got in Gakpo's way one time. If Gakpo had got that free header, he would have scored.
That was a great delivery, by the way, too.
Very great delivery by Robo. But of course, and then in the beginning, I said, if you still talking about Diaz, of course, I was being a little bit harsh on people who criticize Diaz, but this is a game. This game is simple, man. People are stuck in these ITKs mode where you have to play certain way. If you don't play that way, you're not playing well. Those what do you call it? PlayStation, YouTube highlight. The game is not based on that. The game is how to be efficient and win. And Lucho, Klopp had a plan for him yesterday, and he did very, very well. There's a reason why Klopp never took him out. He could have took him out and bring a kid in and have the kid run around, because the kids came in and they run their socks off.
I don't know what else to say, but go ahead. We'll go Quasi. I'll let you land. That's
what I'm saying. I'm just saying,
you're an 8 or 8.5, 9.
That's what I said. Either in front of Ibu or right behind Ibu on the chart.
Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting because Nilante Quasi, not necessarily Brian, I think had him on the top tier, so I'm not gonna throw his name into this hat, but I'm gonna say this: the guy was 5 of 8 for his dribble attempts, had 78 touches, played 120 minutes, was 89% for his passing, had 4 key passes, 3 for 3 for long balls, was involved in 18. Let me repeat that: 18 ground duels he was involved in. Okay. One, albeit he didn't win all of them, but won 8 of them, I think. Was the number, right? 1 out of 2 for aerial duels. Had 3 fouls, but was fouled twice. Had 1 tackle. I mean, I can't stress enough. There's times when I've put Nunez in top tier performance despite not scoring a goal, despite hitting the woodwork 4 times or whatever. There's times that I've put Nunez in that top tier simply because he was a problem. He's the focal point. Lucho for this team, currently like constructed, is our most creative and possibly our deadliest weapon on the pitch is Lucho. Hands down. I get that he's not scoring on the levels that people want to see him score. That could be something.
Badly defensively yesterday.
What's that?
Sorry. It sounds like he did pretty badly defensively yesterday. Those stats
by going 8 for 18.
Yeah, and those stats. Yeah, 8 for 18, and what his ground duels as well wasn't great.
Well, ground duels was 8 for 18, but he was 1 for 2 for aerial duels. And
guys, again, that sounds good.
But was fouled twice and had 3 fouls.
I know. I was just having a little bit of fun there. That's all.
Okay, I got you.
But I'm just saying
he's involved in 8. He's working his tail off.
But
if you look at the
you've got to allow everybody to hopefully have their tea and their coffee, their stats and their eye test.
Yeah, but
and their own opinion, and put it all together, and that's what they like to drink. So the stats aren't, it's not that they're wrong or right, but we can all appreciate it. We all have our own opinions based on the stats and the eye test, and then the whole, you put it all together, and then you come up with what you think.
Oh, it's close still? Yeah, I mean, guys.
Good game. He had a good game. Let's go next.
Yeah. You got you. Quasi, you want to say something last point?
No, I was just going to say the thing is the game was simple. His job was specific. Be defensive on the attack side, meaning push them back. Right? Same way we say play defense with the ball. And that's exactly what he did. He was efficient. He runs his tails off. He did everything. Like I said, aesthetically, he wasn't pleasing because he didn't score. He didn't have that crazy assist. He didn't give you that Lucho from Porto. But my man balled out.
He did. All right, I'm gonna do this in groups so we can get through these because so we can as in when they were subbed in, I'll ask in the group that they were subbed in. I'll just say it that way so we can get through these. For Joe Gomez was subbed in for Gravenberch obviously early. Real quick, let's just go through some of these. Let's just go because I don't think any of these had such a spectacular game. Maybe Bobby, or not, maybe McConnell, maybe Bobby Clark might be mentioned. Even Diane's could be mentioned slightly as shouts for good, not only good games, but like for being mentioned to have their name have something put on it. But for Joe Gomez, just give me like your top tier, above average for Joe Gomez.
Above average. Above average.
Nolante. Quasi. We'll go Quasi actually because I think Nolante is in the middle of something. I see that. I see his message. Quasi.
Yes. Go Joey. Well, above average.
Above average. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Joey gets above average. Okay, I got you. How about for Nolante? You want to throw in a quick rating for Joey before?
Yeah, my guy Joey G. Don't know, above average 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done and done.
Put him above Robbo or something. Put him before Robbo or what? Is that about to say?
Oh,
yeah, they're about the same. I think.
Yeah, I think it's
about the same. All right. So then in the 72nd minute, Bobby Clark was subbed on. How do you feel about Bobby? And you subbed in for Connor Bradley. How do you feel about Bobby Clark, Brian?
I'll give the kids that came in a 7.5. So I'll give McConnell and Clark and Dan's to make it easy. I'll just give them all a 7.5.
And Kwanzaa too, or because Kwanzaa's
all those boys. Yeah, all the boys.
Yeah.
A second, Brian.
Okay, I'll move them in. What Nolante? You want to give a rating?
Yeah, second. If I'm pushing myself to one to potentially bring above average, that'll be Dan's, because I think he was a little bit of a nuisance and he got some shots on target, made Chelsea work a little bit. So yeah, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm trying to tier these as best as possible as I remember them.
Never win anything with a haircut like that.
That's for sure, bro.
There's a Souness or someone out there complaining about his haircut, and then you look at Graham Souness pictures from the late 70s and the 80s. The world's biggest perm. I mean, you think Bob Ross, Bob Ross, the painter guy on, Souness had the more time invested in his haircut than almost any other player in Liverpool. And he spent pretty much all of the time that Pogba was at Man United criticizing him for getting fancy haircut. There's a reason Harry Enfield made up a sketch about Scousers and everybody was wearing perm wigs.
Yeah. Wow, I'm looking at the update. I'm looking at the update of the score. That's pretty impressive. By West Ham. Simicast. That leaves us with Simicast. I'm cool with putting all the boys in where they're at, but Simicast got the game-winning assist. Let's see, played pretty well in 33 minutes, but most notably, it was the assist. He was 17 out of 18 for his passing, so he's 94% for passing, 2 key passes, 5 out of 7 for crosses. So the only 2 passes were 5 out of 7 accuracy for his crosses. 1 out of 3 for ground duels. I think Simicast is an 8. I would think he's like a low 8. He'd probably be right around right around Joey. Would you say?
Well, he came in and made the difference.
Yeah.
He put in. He had his composure. Put in a perfect ball. Yeah, you got to give him an extra half point.
Yeah. Right. Yes, KJ in the house. Big up, KJ. I see you.
He literally made the goal. You got to at least give him an extra half.
Yeah. I'll bump him up to. I'll bump up here. Actually, he's up here. I bump up to there. KJ, big up to KJ. That's 1 down, 3 to go. Definitely. KJ was, like I said, mentioned earlier. KJ was certainly someone that was very high and supportive of the endomania, I guess we call it, or whatever. All right, that leads us to I thought I put Jurgen in here. Well,
big up KJ.
I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna include our manager in this too. I thought I put him in there, but I didn't. So I'm gonna add him in. That leaves us to Jurgen, and then we're gonna go to man of the match, and then Landis. So Landis playing, so we can allow for everyone to enjoy their day or enjoy the rest of their night, or even the beginning of their mornings. I think it's kind of obvious. I think Jurgen's definitely getting a 9. He's getting top tier performance from me. The sheer fact that he put praise and respect and just belief in that, hey, just go out there and any result that you get, he would be proud of you, proud of these young men, simply because he knew that they were going to go out there and give it their all. That's all he asked, and that's what he got in this game. So I would have put him top tier. What do you want to rate our manager, Brian?
Definitely top tier. What else can you say? He has arrived at this situation with these players.
Put him in the middle.
And this injury crisis. But there's a reason why these guys are ready at the same time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that goes down to all of those coaches. I mean, the U coaches, the boys that had him at this level ready to go. But Klopp has also kind of introduced them enough so that a lot of them have come to this cup final, with a few minutes under their belt. But no one, like I said it yesterday, that a Bradley seeing a Kwanzaa on the pitch makes Bradley more confident. McConnell seeing Bradley and a Kwanzaa on the pitch makes him even more confident. Then Clark coming on, seeing 3 of the other kids on, it makes them more confident. They're not the only kid on the pitch. You know, so he's done it. He's timed it very well in the way that he's allowed these players to kind of not have to be dragged in for a cup final and thrown on. A lot of them have already got some of these minutes, and he's fostered the kind of right attitude there. Again, like I say, most of this really has to go to the underage coaches because they're producing players who are almost plug and play for first team football, which is a phenomenal achievement. So a lot of this praise should go to, you know, the people working below Klopp at the underage level.
KJ gives you KJ giving you a shout or giving you help out with the names and or people that you're mentioning. Matos
Vitor Matos and Pep. Yeah, cool. Vitor Matos. Yes, I know that name. Yeah. Nice one, KJ.
Quasi, what do you? I know you're going to give where you're going to put our gaffer, but go ahead. You can give a little shout if you like, and then we'll move on to Nlante.
I mean, can he get man of the match?
He gets manager of the match for sure. He can get the manager of the match. He's certainly that.
Yeah, my manager was, oh man. People wanna, you know, I was listening to credit to club, I'll give it to the players. I'm like, are you mad? The manager engineered everything from the academy all the way to the boardroom. This I know. I get on Crazy Bowl TV yesterday. Shameless plug. I did say the man. This is exactly what he wanted. Everything went to exactly how he planned. He wants these type of stories. This is what Jurgen is made for. You know, things that is impossible becomes possible. You know what I mean? Like, if you ask him, he will probably take this trophy ahead of, maybe it will come second to the Champions League and the league, and everything will be ahead of this because of how everything went down. You know, he's being ridiculed. Oh, you whine too much. You do this too much. You leave in. You all this stuff, and he just said, "Watch me. I'm gonna bring kids that you don't know." I mean, let's be honest. Right. Chelsea had kids. From what we, the stats that Brian gave us shows that exactly. He turned water into honey, man. You know, I can't say wine because we got kids.
21
Brian, Brian said Chelsea had the youngest team, per average.
Right.
But our kids don't even have driver's licenses.
They got bus passes.
Yeah, they have bus passes, exactly. They take not even bus passes. The bus comes to take them. The bus has to come pick them up from school. Like the game yesterday, the way the manager, and when I say the manager, I'm saying the manager and his whole entire
and his group,
and his crew, the whole team, because it takes a good leader to listen to everybody around him, right?
Yeah.
And then I have to also add the academy, the two academy directors, that was coaches and director who was there, who had the instrumental to taking what club want and make it happen.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? This is why, and I'm going to go on a soapbox rant a little bit here. This is why I love clubs. I love clubs so much. This is why I love clubs so much, because he said, people were angry at FSG spending the money, or so-called, they didn't build the training center. Instead, they picked that over buying new players. Did you guys know that the training center was part of the plan, but they were going to push it far back after the stadium was done? And club said, no, I want it right now because I want to see everybody under one roof. Right now, you go to other newspapers, you go to Talk Sport, they're talking about Liverpool has the best academy in Britain right now.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So this is something. It's not just the win. You have to understand the journey through the win is way sweeter than just lifting the cup. And that's why club, man, this is more special than any of his 20 years trophy. He didn't say the best. He said special. There's
special,
two different,
sure.
I know what you mean. And we have to appreciate the manager. We have to appreciate the owners for believing in him.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
So, Quasi, can I just something you were saying about that? You're bang on. The owners were like, the fans want a new stadium. We want to do Anfield.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. We have this crazy situation where we have us at Melwood and we have the kids down in Kirby. What you need is we were talking about the other night, so I won't go into it, but the all of them together so the kids can see the progression. And this is one really boring point, and I keep bringing it up, but this tells me more about FSG than everyone else. Do you know how much that academy costs? Do you know how much the new Kirby? Do you know how much that costs?
50-some million, right?
It costs 50 million quid.
And we paid it off already.
It was built, right, ahead of schedule and under budget. Those are facts. It was built ahead of schedule and under budget. No construction ever is built ahead of schedule and under budget, let alone some fancy, massive new. No. 50 million quid doesn't even buy you what? A half of a Caicedo.
How much was Caicedo?
Half of a Caicedo. And we built a world-class training facility on budget, under budget, and ahead of time for 50 million quid. You wouldn't get a swanky townhouse in Chelsea for 50 million.
And you know the crazy thing, Brian? The year that Edwards sold what's his name? The striker that broke his ankle. The one that went to Sheffield. The kid.
Oh, Rio Brewster.
For 25 mil. Because Brewster was coming through the academy, so that money did not go to the first team conference. It went to the academy. So basically, we just paid off half of the training center when it was open. And then people say, "Oh, AXA built it." No, AXA didn't build anything. AXA just put their name on it because they're gonna pay us for putting their name on what?
On the training kit. That's it.
Exactly. So people, you have to understand when, like last time I told Zuberi, shout out to Zuberi again, what FSG has done, unless you know it, we're not going to talk about it. It'll be a waste of our time to talk about it because people are going to be like, oh, you guys are just FSG in. People, this Liverpool team, do you see what Manchester United is doing? The whole, let's be like all the other teams. City, 115 or 117 charges, right? This is the team that people wanted us to, their owners love the club so much. Oh, we should be like them. 117 charges. Chelsea, so many corruption, they had to force the other owner out. Man U, the new owner who loved the club so much because he's a fan. This richest British guy is asking the taxpayers to build a stadium for him. You see what I'm saying? So people need to appreciate what is going on right now. So if Alonso comes in, Alonso just have to coach. He doesn't have to do nothing but just focus on the team. So we have to appreciate what's going on. That's why I'm saying, club saying this is the most special one because club has engineered this literally since day one when he walked through the door. He has engineered this. And that documentary, man, 12 Men, I said it yesterday, get another shameless plug on Crazy Ball TV. I said, Netflix, Amazon are going to pay themselves for not bidding more money and getting that documentary series because He's gonna break everything. He's gonna shut
No,
down the
they probably
internet.
have. I bet you they have something where it's like however much. They probably have something set up the way that they have with Nike with the shirt kits probably, and you know, they probably have a nice little kickback when it comes to like viewership and everything else. So we'll see.
Well, guess who got it? Disney got it. Disney got the documentary special. I'm telling you, my manager, man of the match.
To go. So I know Nolante. Nolante's got some music in the background, so I know he's like he's here, but he'll pick and choose when he can come in and contribute.
No, I can come in now. Well, all right, 12. I can come in, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Just in regards to what Brian and Quasi said about Klopp. I mean, yourself. I mean, again, he's a man. Oh, what's that, Brian?
I hope that ain't Beyonce or 12 Man's going bankrupt.
Yeah, exactly.
No. That's the mission. No. Oh no. Oh, don't worry about her, man. Honestly, she's not on my playlist. No, she wouldn't be on my playlist. But anyway, yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. So about Klopp. The thing is, and it's funny you say Crazy with the Amazon the documentary. Klopp made some very interesting. Had a big say about the documentary because that's something he didn't want, but you know, owners, money, etc., more exposure for the club. But there's certain scenes that Amazon they can't get to, which in the Arsenal, Tottenham, Spurs, other documentaries they get all access. But there's certain access, but that was down to Klopp. He put a stop to that. So, you know, I mean, fair play. But I mean, what can we say about this man? Look, I'm not going to talk about what his legacy happens, what he wins, or what he doesn't. We'll leave that for another show. But what I will say is there's a chance for history. And yeah, we've got injuries. And I thought about this. I could say, yeah, you know, we're not going to win the league, which I already really thought so could that. But you know what? Screw it. I'm becoming shameless. It's going to be 4 trophies at the end of the season. What? I'm going to be shameless. Let's go. 1 down, 3 to go. Let's go. Club, let's get it. Let's end the legacy on a high. Let's do something what these clubs haven't done. Let's go. 4. I'm on it now. I'm shameless. Can't be bothered no more. I'm tired. Big up Klopp.
There you go.
We need that.
There you go.
We need that.
Shameless. That's big up.
I need Delante, I need you to bring that for me because I'm not there at the moment. I'm tired myself, man. I had a long 2 weeks, so I need someone else to bring that energy that I feel on the inside, but just someone else to just put it out there.
Brian, listen, I've got you, man. Trust me, believe me. Long 2 weeks, I've had a long month, believe me. But we won't talk about my story. But I just thought, you know, I've had enough, man. I'm jumping in now. Shameless. Don't know 4. Let's go. Man. 4. I don't care how many players. Innit? I don't care who we play. I don't care who we can play. We can play the dog. We can play the cat. We can play the next door neighbors. 11 players go out. They win. We keep it moving. Let's go. Simple.
There you go.
Shameless.
Jurgen Quad in the house. Jurgen Quad in the house.
And just to add, just to catch rate, sorry, before you go on to everyone, you know, my favorite number is 3, but now I'm changing that to 4. 4 is my favorite number. Shameless. Let's go. Shameless. 4 of us in the panel. Let's go. Shameless. 4, 4, 4, chat. 4, 4, 4.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Enough said. All right. So we're at the end. I already put up basically I put a man of the match because you know I don't even want to get into like who everyone thinks the man of the match or man. There's so many names you could put into that list. I mean, it could have been Virgil. I think the strongest candidates of the 5 that we had on there certainly was Virgil, Kelleher, and Endo were all basically the 3 names I would have put into that list. I think that they all deserve, you know, the sheer fact that Kelleher had 9 saves, clean sheet, you know, kept us in the game. Absolute crazy game for him. Virgil with apparently had the opportunity to win it for us in regular time. But then, you know, they took that away from us and he said, okay, you know what? Hold my beer. I'll be right back. You know, he's over here shouting. Did it again. Said, all right, you know, rewind, select the rewind.
Back to
What
the
was that?
future setting. Back to the future
Yes,
setting. He
it
won it
was.
twice. He
He
went
won it
back and won
twice.
it again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Went
there you
back and
go.
won it again. Then everybody reappeared in the victory photograph. What did you think of that when they were all linking arms in one big row, singing
Oh,
"Forever Walking Down the Crowd"?
goosebumps.
Yeah,
Oh
goosebumps.
man, come on now,
Great comment.
Did it?
Great
come
comment
on.
here by John. John
Did
says
you
70%
remind?
of it is covered in water. Just know that the extra 30 is covered by a Japanese samurai. That's a great comment, John. I like it. I like it. But yeah, definitely. Great to see everyone get a chance to really soak it all in, and the sheer fact that there's close to 89,000 supporters, whether red or blue there, and it was undoubtedly the loudest and most vocal of the supporters were the Reds. At the end,
Well,
it
it
was just
sounded like 80,000 Reds.
yeah, it did. It
Yeah.
really did.
And did you
It
see
really did.
Jurgen went early? Did you see Jurgen went
Oh,
early on You Never
12
Walk
men.
Alone?
12 men.
Yeah,
Where's my manners? The fans were astronomical. Oh my Jesus.
right.
The fans. Did you see towards the last, isn't it 90th minute or towards the extra time? And we started singing Ale, Ale, Ale.
Yeah.
And Wembley has never heard that such loudness. Chelsea fans tried to sing, but they can only wave their flag. Oh man, the fans were so much. Thank you so much. All the fans that went, man. Big up to you, man. You guys were too much.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
That's one of the best songs of easily the Premier League era. That song, I know that the melody, the tune is, obviously, look, it's not an original song as it were, but the
Arsenal, get your own
Raceman,
song.
yeah, I know it's there, but the way that rings, like certain songs are good or whatever, like I don't know anybody else, but I hate that Jurgen Klopp one. The I'm in love with you and I feel fine one. That's just wrong. That's all crammed into, yeah, it's not, it feels kind of forced. But the Ale Ale Ale, that rings out in a football stadium perfectly. That
And
is
every
a
single time,
brilliant football song. That's a
I remember,
legitimately brilliant football song.
was it the Champions League season or the year after? Every time we sing that song, you know a goal is about to happen. Every single time, you'll be like, "Yep, something's about to happen. Something's about to happen." Man, shout out, big up to the fans, man. Big up to the fans.
No, big shout out for sure. The Reds definitely represented, very well. The Mighty Reds Army was definitely there singing Ale, Ale, Ale for sure. What's funny too, real quick? I'm gonna bring up this list. This is another reason why I say, some of the corporate involvement in football needs to find its rightful place. You know what I mean? That's just
the second
so
half.
sad.
Yeah, second half kickoff, it was like, that was so obvious.
It's so obvious. This is the section. This is the corporate section here that you can see all the red seats here that are just empty.
Yeah.
They're about to kick off, and none of them. They're all drinking their champagne, eating their caviar or whatever they do, and that was shameful to me. They mentioned it a couple of times. It was so funny on our side of the pond. The commentators were John Champion and who's up? I'm going blank on his name. He was a gooner. Do you know what I'm talking about, Quasi? Because he got the same broadcast I did. The commentator was John Champion, and the other guy's a gooner. What's his name?
Alan Smith. Was it Alan Smith?
No,
is it a former Arsenal player, the bald dude?
Yeah, he's bald, former Arsenal player.
John Hart.
Kind of.
John Hart.
No, I don't think he's. What's that?
Personally, I think he is the guy who birthed Tacticos. Because when you're listening to his analysis, man.
Okay.
White or black?
I'm only bringing it up because
White
he
guy,
basically
English guy. What?
He threw him under the bus. He was like, he was saying, oh, he was talking about that's the corporate section. He's like, oh yeah, that's where you be sitting, John. You know, saying he basically was like, yeah, that's where you. And he's like, and then John Champion was like, you tarred me with the wrong brush. He's like, it's not the first time you've done that. And I was like, oh wow, are we about to have a hissy fit? That was pretty funny. It was just pretty funny. Stuart Robson, that's who it was. Stuart Robson.
Oh, he's true. Yeah, he played for Arsenal years ago. Years. Yeah. No, he wasn't anything special.
That was not. It went like all of a sudden there was like dead air. There was no talking after that comment for a little bit. It was so funny. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, but didn't he play for us as well? No, that's Stuart Robb. Guy that played for us.
No,
I
didn't, Brian. No, just Arsenal.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I think he played. Well, the team that he made, the team that he's got his name with was Arsenal at least. I think because he does not like Arsenal. He does not speak highly of Arsenal at all, actually. So whatever was the exit for him, it wasn't a good one. But I just wanted to note that it was pretty funny. But all the same, all right, we're gonna land this plane here. I want to definitely before we do, I want to kind of like drop my bin player of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be Chilwell. Despite it was Casado was a strong shout for me, you know, like Casado was a strong shout. He was playing reckless. He was really trying to make a difference for Chelsea and just being an a-hole basically. But Chilwell for me gets my bin player of the game. Who was your bin player of the game, Brian?
yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't even the Bradley thing; it was the Bobby Clark one. When Bobby Clark was taking up the throw in, and you can see Chilwell is kind of starting to like spitting at him, trying to like not spitting at him, but like going, come on then, what's wrong?
Yeah.
From 10 yards away.
Yeah.
And it was like the second kid he's tried to wind up, and it's like, you were about 27, mate. Like, he was trying to get Clark to come back on the pitch and confront him and kick him. It was pathetic beyond belief. It's like when, oh yeah, man, it was like when, I don't know, if anyone who's ever had an older brother, I don't know, if you've ever had an older brother, there was always one of those guys that hung around with your older brother that bullied your mates. Yeah, he always picked on like your friends. That's what Chilwell was like. Yeah, he was going around picking on the 18-year-olds that came onto the pitch because that's what you do. It was the most pathetic shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, like I didn't really like him before, but
that cemented it for you. That pretty much cemented it for you.
Yeah, no, come on. You have other things to be worrying about, Ben Chilwell. You have other things to be worrying about, like playing the football.
He was absolutely classless, guy. It was classless.
It's Chelsea. That's what happens. That's what happens when you put on that Chelsea jersey.
Yeah. Jean Grey had Caicedo and Chilwell. For her, they're wankers, she said. Chilwell was a right prick trying to mouth off the kids. Then ran scared from Joey G and Big Bird. Actually, it was Joey G, and he ran away from Ibu. Actually, he was like, I want no parts of that. Drunk Vigo says, "Did you see Enzo get triggered in the stands after the match?" No, I didn't see that. I'll have to watch that back. Enzo, what a disappointment Enzo's been. I think. I mean, for what they considering we saw Macca's two counterparts, whether for his international team, for his national team, and for his old Brighton club. You know, we saw two of his running mates, and both of them pale in comparison to what we have in Macca, and pale in what we spent for him too as well. let's see what else we say. Yeah. Dakota says, I'm so glad we didn't get Caicedo. Bun him, man. Definitely, for sure. And then and even Lavia, she threw Lavia in that bunch too. Yeah. The laughter triggered Enzo. I'll have to check that out. That's probably a clip somewhere. And then KJ says, finally, imagine being Lavia and Caicedo knowing you turned us down for that. I can't agree with that anymore. Quasi, do you have a bin player of the game nominee? Someone that you would throw in the bin for? Maybe not. Maybe not. Or how about Nolante? Nolante, you have a bin player? Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's give a quick shout. I know you got a bunch going on in the background there.
Sorry about that.
No.
I was doing something real quick, but yeah, go ahead, Levante. I'll come after you.
Okay, crazy. All right, no problem. Yeah. Just the same Caicedo and Chilwell. Honestly, Caicedo he was running around like a loose cannon. You know, the foul on Gravenberch, which was disgraceful anyway. Although he apologized for it, but still he was running around like a headless chicken. But I'll give him a little bit, not much. But Chidwell, he was a scumbag from minute one, talking every minute to the ref, moaning at every decision, tried to put the fear in our youngsters, and tried to talk trash. But yeah, and then when the big dogs came on the pitch, what did he do? Run away and tuck his tail like a little. You know what? I'm not going to say it, but yeah, you can say it for me, but exactly, yeah. So, Chidwell, you scumbag, injury prone, you captain, you bottled it again. Chelsea, that's 6 finals, no trophies. Let the good times roll. Thank you.
Hold that. Quasi, you want to have your say?
I said the ref.
Oh, the ref.
The
okay,
entire
there
ref.
you go.
That's what I'm going to leave
there
that.
You go.
Oh, that's true. Quasi, yeah, the ref.
There you go. I'd like to say this. Oh man. Well, I'm going to save this for next time. But there is something that I'm going to bring up in tomorrow. I'll bring it up in tomorrow's episode. But yeah, Chelsea broke a record yesterday. The first English club to lose 6 finals. Wow, that's horrible. And on the trot at least. And then there was another thing that was said on here too. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me just say this right now. I know Brian's not a fan of one of my future misses, but hey, Dua Lipa, despite her being an Arsenal supporter, you know, once we get to the wedding ceremony, we'll figure out how to. She'll be, you know, Liverpool's 12th woman or something like that. Okay, let's just say we'll show her a better light. We'll show her a better light. I'm gonna show her a better light, and then we'll show her the sentiment of yeah. She needs to be a red, the proper red at least. So there you go.
I'm throwing shade. If you marry her, I still won't take it back. I still won't take it back. I'll be like Jamie Phillips. I won't flip flop.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As long as you don't object, don't object. That's all. Just let it go through. Let it happen.
Oh no, I'll take that invite, man. I'm taking that invite. Don't worry. I'm accepting. I am RSVPing to that pretty damn quick.
There you go.
Yeah.
So big up to everyone that joined today. Big up to all the participants in the chat. As always, Mighty Red Army is undefeated. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'm surprised we didn't have. I'm not surprised actually. I said it the day before when me and Brian were doing a preview, and I said, hey, you know, there was that one Chelsea Blue guy that was in our chat that was, you know, going crazy with all the comments and was with, you know, it went way over the line, if anything, you know, but with some of his comments, but like was just talking with
what they do.
Yeah, it's not a surprise that he's ghosts today. That he's all of a sudden he's nowhere to be found. You know.
Oh, that's because I banned him. I banned him from the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he did. He was saying that. Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't create a burner account or something to come back. To be honest with you, but all the same, I'm glad that he's no longer a part of this because he doesn't deserve to be amongst the graces of who we have in this chat, which is some great people, and also definitely with a great panel today. Yeah, Brian, ruthless for sure. Quasi Bold, give a shout for your channel, and thank you for participating today. Give a shout out for your channel and what you have coming up.
Quasi Bold TV. I think tomorrow we're probably going to take a break and celebrate this win. But we'll be back for a Friday, late night vibes with, at the barbershop. Come through, Pops. We're still looking for you, man. I know you're in there. And Brian, yes, I need you to come in too. We have to talk to Zuberi.
There you go.
Well,
he got questions to answer. He's crying.
Maybe there'll be a highlight reel for him. Maybe there'll be a highlight reel of Keller for him to watch by the time
we will get him ready for it.
Yeah, maybe.
Lalante, big up to you, man. Make sure you come through, man.
Crazy, you read my mind. I was thinking, where's the invite? But don't worry, I'll be there.
Thank you so much.
And by the way, Brian and Crazy, what's this with the brewery? What's he been saying again?
Let's let it go. Let's let it go right now. That's
why we need you. That's why we need you there, Lalante. We need you there so you could put him to task.
Oh, no problem. Yes, yeah. Mr. Siberian is wild takes, but that's fine. We do that.
Thank you, Lalante. Give the love to the little one too. By the way, we're participating in our rating show too.
12. 12. He enjoyed it so much. He's knocked out on my arm right now, sleeping.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. He put children to sleep.
Yeah.
We put the world to rights. We put the world to rights. Exactly. We put children to sleep.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Yeah. Ryan, you want to give a shout? You're gonna give a shout out, and thank you as well, as always, Brian, for helping out today. But go ahead, you want to give a shout?
Shout out to Quasi. Shout out to Beige and Reds TV. Shout out to
big up Brian. Big up Brian.
Pretty much, yeah. Quasi Bold and Beige and Reds TV. Go subscribe and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And if you haven't subscribed, hopefully you subscribe to the channel here too.
Obvious.
Yeah, be sure to share. Be sure to share. Be sure to hit that notification bell on all the channels that were mentioned. My channel, Quasi Bowl TV, Beige and Reds TV. Be sure to hit the notification bell, subscribe, and definitely do your part in making our community, the Reds community, the best community that you could be a part of. Bond those blues, and a whole nine. And you gotta definitely love everything about this fact that you'll never walk alone means something to a lot of us, and we definitely share that and express that with the support that we show. And if anything, we will be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, same time, same channel, or same bat time, same bat channel, I guess, or whatever, however it goes in the Batman world. But we will be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time. And until tomorrow, let's give it up to our team. We're Carabao Cup Final 2024 winners. Yes, champions. On our way to the quad. Let's do it, people. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Peace, guys.
Quad.
One down.